All right, I think yeah, we should be live. Nice. Figured I'd start 2 minutes early, you know? I was just kind of sitting here waiting for the most part. Figured I would just hang out. Veve Arcade, let's go, dude. Dude, I'm just stoked. Actually, I should pull it up now while I can, or while I remember. Dude, I need to get my Mr. Sinister on here. Let me see here. Okay, gotta connect that. Give me a sec here. That's pretty sick. Cancel. All right, let me drag it over. Remaximize this bad boy. Look at that. Dude, I got it, dude. This Mr. Sinister one's pretty sick, I have to admit. That's pretty awesome. Go back. Hello. Is it alt back? There we go. I like this Odin one as well. Odin's pretty nice. Dude, I was trying to bridge some Matic the other day so I could like sell my spawn that's on like the Todd McFarlane platform or whatever. And dude, that thing is such a headache to deal with, like Matic and all that stuff. Like you have to like buy it, goes to your ETH wallet, then you have to bridge it, and like there's literally like 3 layers of fees I feel like I have to pay for before I even just get the Matic. So I thought that was a bit on the annoying side. Give me 1 second. I'm actually gonna fix this curtain here. Hold on. I think that's as good as it's gonna get. Let's try this. Alrighty then. See, you guys are on time. I started a couple minutes early, so I've been kind of talking to myself, but no big deal. Let's see. Chat should be up to date, or should be good. There we go. We can actually go back to here. See, I need to get I guess this side technically, I need to get a Mr. Sinister up there now. So, rather than dude, I love the Wolverine one, but the Mr. Sinister is pretty sick as well. Yeah, that's me talking to myself for a bit. Yo, what's up, vibes? What's up, Pure Chaos? Hope you guys are doing good today. I know we've had a lot of, gosh, I've watched like 3 streamers today. I've watched Veve Vault, then Veve Arcade, then I watched and was on my Collectibles stream as well earlier today, and now I'm streaming myself. So I was like, you know, usually I do more late night streams, like I would say closer to 7, 8, 9 p.m. because technically Pacific time, maybe even Mountain time with Arizona, but yeah, so I'm doing a little bit earlier stream than normal just to see if new people join in, which I've already seen a couple new names. Villy, what's up, dude? Rob Cook, sup vibes, selling Matic. He gave me a migraine, sold all my spawn entities once I figured it out. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna probably do the same, because you can see here I don't have the or let me actually switch scenes here, because I don't have I got a bunch of NFTs now from Veve Arcade, which is awesome, but I have this spawn here. It's not the super rare one or whatever. I mean, it's a rare, it's the lowest tier, but it's a spawn. It's a number 42 mint, so it's really low. But it took me so long to figure out how the whole Matic thing worked out and all that stuff. So I don't know if I want to post it on OpenSea. It seems like there's been way more activity on the what do you call it? There's been way more activity buying and selling NFTs on the actual like Todd McFarlane like marketplace rather than like on OpenSea, strangely enough. So let me actually move this down a little bit. Where is it? Yeah, there's been way more activity on that than OpenSea. So I might just end up just selling it on that website, just getting Matic and trying to bridge it. I don't know. It's, as much as I hate to say it, honestly, the whole like buying $100 worth of Spawn or Todd McFarlane toys, because I made not necessarily a mistake, but of course all the ones that were like Veve NFT related, they were all just gone. Let me see here. I wonder if they're back. Just gonna pull it up here really quick, and then we'll talk about Veve. So, all right, we have this Joker toy or whatever it is. Is this the website? Where's the shop? There we go. Holy moly, dude. I hate it when the websites like do that. Yeah, so when I was trying to find, so DC Direct, when I was trying to buy anything that was like on the Veve thing, it was just not, they were all sold out. Like the Batman Who Laughs, I mean, that was a bit much for me. Yeah, so the statue was sold out when I tried to buy it during the whole like Todd McFarlane thing. Like pretty much every Veve NFT collectible that, you know, the physical statue that Todd McFarlane has done, or the one that he's trying to sell, they were all sold out. Like look at this, back row's like sold out, that's sold out. Any of the Veve ones, they're all sold out. So that just kind of figures. Dude, too bad we didn't get a flash like this as an FA flash instead of like a battle statue for flash. Yeah, is the stream glitching up, or is it lagging or anything like that? I might actually, because right now I'm streaming in 4K, but I feel like there are delays, or there is sometimes like weird stuff that happens, and I should be streaming in probably like 1080p or even in 2K or like 1440. Let's see. Let's see. What's up, Choo Choo? I've seen you around on some of the streams today. Oh, never mind, YouTube glitched up. Yeah, it was probably YouTube. But yeah, like all the Veve ones, of course, you know, the Jim Lee Batman, that's gone. So all the Veve ones were just gone. So I think I ended up just buying 3 Spawn like trash throne things or whatever. All in all, I would say probably not worth as of right now. Don't get me wrong, I like Todd McFarlane as an artist, but so far the whole digital collectible NFT aspect of the project hasn't been ideal. Dealing with Matic, dealing with I don't know. I'd rather just double and triple down on Veve than just spread myself across like a ton of different NFT platforms. So regardless, I'm always happy to get free and awesome NFTs from Veve Arcade. Like, dude, this one's sick. I like this one a lot. And there's only 100 of these, I guess. Whoops. And then same thing with this one, this like SR Odin. This one looks really awesome. Jason Parade. I really need to put up the whoops, wrong one. I really need to put up the Mr. Sinister probably up here as well. I think that'd be really cool. Yada Dog, sup vibes? Long time since I caught you live. Hope all is good. Yeah. I mean, I streamed last week, but yeah. Decided to fully focus on Veve and give the McFarlane platform time to grow. I agree. The only thing that's making me hesitant is like, yeah, Todd McFarlane has had a lot of, you know, awesome creations and stuff, but if people really going to care about FA on blockchain or this or that, it's going to be tough. So member for 10 months, common gang, 10-month common gang. Holy shit. Thank you so much, dude. That's awesome. And thank you for being a sub for 10 months. I'll have to do something special for 1-year members or something like that. Dude, it's unfortunate we can't do giveaways anymore, dude. I remember doing giveaways was so much fun. Unless you literally had dozens of comics to give away, like MC1. Because I remember when my Collectibles was doing like comic giveaways, he couldn't give away the comics fast enough. Like there's people constantly trading him comics, and for every one he would like give away, he would get 2 more, and he just like could not. Like I remember he dedicated like an entire stream to just giving away comics. But it would be nice. I mean, that's, I don't know, I'm not an artist, I'm not in anything really, so it's like having all of these cool collectibles, not collectibles, but all these cool NFTs, you know, from people in the community. Like it would be cool to have them. Like, I mean, look, there's Fish, there's VV Arcade stuff, like there's drop heads down here. I know you can't really see it, but you know, this is the drop head that apparently it'll load there. That's the drop head I got. Kind of looks like me, but you know, it's, I don't really have anything to like give away, even if I, you know, I don't really have anything. But again, Yada Dog, thank you so much, dude. Bioshock K Vibes, I like your take on Gauntlet speculation. If they were ready for that collectible burns, they would probably go for that route with the stones, but they aren't there yet. Yeah, I think it's a technological limitation. I think what's probably more likely is an airdrop, like my Collectible said. More than likely, there's an airdrop of the soul stones for the people that have the other 5. There's going to be an airdrop of some kind. Either you collect all 6 and there's going to be a Gauntlet airdrop, or the people that have actually spent the money to get the last 5 stones are going to get airdropped something. The reason why I kind of like the burn mechanic of the soul stones, not soul stones, but the infinity stones, is because it kind of does like a kind of creates like a psychological floor, right, for some of the gauntlets. So if someone spent 500 gems for all the entire Eye of Agamotto set, plus the scepter, plus this, plus that, and it costs them 500 gems, and you burn it, right? They can't sell it back to the market to make some money back. They burn it. At that point, I would think you would want to sell the gauntlet for at least, you know, 550 gems to at least make your money back, you know, including fees. So that kind of provides like a psychological floor price wise for the gauntlet, because you just burned all the stuff you just paid money for. So yeah, we got a few different things going on here. I remember that was very funny. Yeah. And again, Yada Dog, thank you so much. Keep it up. Thanks for the 5 euro, right? Pound is a different logo. I don't know, I think my American is starting to show. But price of these are they are ticking up. It's a slight uptick right now. What are the rares at? Yep, rares are at 30 right now. I sold mine for 31, and I purchased a common for 23.50. I kind of wanted the common anyway. The one unique thing I would say about the rare is that obviously the art looks a bit more detailed and everything is black and white. Unlike this is like colored with like some weird grayscale with the background. But yeah, I do like it. Yes, sir. In Ireland, ooh, I like. Smarty Pants says, planning to give away a couple things when MCP drops, and we'll do it via transfer with Reese directly, so I don't need to make it a snipe situation on the market. Yeah, that's a good call. I'm sure, and yeah, I like the ultra rare too. Either you go like, well, let me show like the full comic details. There it goes. Either you go like full black and white like this, which I like, or you go full color like the ultra rare, which looks awesome too. Yeah, I think I remember they talked about it. What's it called? Doing like giveaways. I remember bringing that up at DCon. I don't know, you know, not to toot my own horn, but I feel like I had some pretty good questions at DCon. I remember asking about Choo Choo. Thank you so much, dude. 11 months. Shit, I need to come up with something next month then for members. I don't know what. Maybe I'll let you guys like come up with like an emote or something like that, and I like have to put it in. You guys make the emote whatever it is, and I have to put it in. VV Wheels, poetry delivery, let's go. What's up, dude? Yeah, I would like for there to be a way to do giveaways rather than you either snipe them off the market or, you know, you just rely on me being honest, right? But that's kind of how it was. People were just joining giveaways, and you know, it's easy to cheat, but I mean, I trust my collectibles when he scrolls up and down and does all that stuff. I used to have a bot that you would do exclamation point giveaway or whatever, or enter or whatever it is, and it would put you in a list, and then I would just choose randomly, or the bot would choose randomly. So planning to give away a couple things like a Pluto lenticular from my stack of 421 and counting, then a couple good comics from my stacks. That's awesome, dude. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm still trying to get on my my stacking game. I am planning on putting in some money soon to grab some more stuff, but like at the same time, like, dude, Veve is so cheap. Not Veve. Omi is so cheap right now. I still don't own any Omi that I know of. I don't know if someone maybe like gave me some via ERC20 or whatever, but I don't have any Omi. So I kind of want to play that angle, and I'm kind of getting to the point now where it's like, all right, if I buy Omi now, are things that I'm going to buy, you know, comic wise or collectible wise, is Omi going to double faster than certain collectibles? Maybe, maybe not. I have no idea. Again, Choo Choo, thank you so much for the 11 months. I appreciate it. Sleepin' Comics, what's up, dude? Hey, Vibes. Sleepin' has been lurking around in all the streams, dude. Same here, dude. Same here. Earlier, I was watching Veve Vault, then Veve Arcade. I was on my Collectibles talking about some comics that I would love to see on Veve, some first appearances, some cool characters, and I've kind of gotten to the point now where, you know, I remember when David Yu was telling us, hey, when... Is this right? Yeah, I don't have that anymore. Yeah, this is not right. I don't have this rare anymore. I sold that a while ago. When David Yu was talking about, hey, like, eventually there's going to be so many comics and collectibles on the platform, you're going to have to kind of pick a side. Not pick a side, but, you know, you're going to have to kind of pick a specialty or a niche or whatever it is, because unless you're a mega whale, you can't have every collectible. You can't own every secret rare of every comic or ultra rare, whatever it is. Like, eventually you can't afford it anymore, or you need to sell off some other stuff that you don't like as much. And then, I mean, I've done that at least 2 or 3 times since I've been on Veve. And I think what I'm going to do is start focusing on X-Men comics and potentially Omi now, because those are the 2 things I want to stack more of. I think chasing and Amazing Spider-Man, like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not ignoring that. I know there's a huge Spider-Man is the biggest superhero and has been for the last like 10 years. But I'm still just a huge X-Men fan at heart. I love a lot of the comics, and I do plan on fully intending on stacking a lot of the Marvel comics in general, but putting more of an emphasis on X-Men comics, particularly FAs. That's just me. So I do want to get more Mr. Sinister, get more Rogue, get more not too much Jubilee, and quite honest, I'm trying to focus more on the comics that are like 10,000 mints or less, that are FAs of Marvel characters, but more like, again, more specifically X-Men characters, because the mint numbers are so low, the amount of mints. It's not like I'm ignoring, you know, like Jubilee or something like that because she's 30,000 mints, but I'm just not stacking her as much as other comics. And again, sticking mostly with the commons, maybe uncommons as well. I haven't really like fully thought out this plan, but all I know is like there's a lot of people that like X-Men. You know, I feel like Avengers has kind of run its course a bit in the MCU, and it's going to keep happening, which is awesome. But like the only next big thing they can do now is kind of X-Men, or at least mutant adjacent groups, and kind of pushing that forward with the MCU. I'm a lurker, I'm working, so I have people in the background. That makes sense, yeah. Great to see so many people streaming today. I've literally done nothing but watch Veve streams. Good times. Yeah, it's a good problem, or I guess good thing to happen. Yeah, it feels like last year. Good times. Yeah. When moon. Oh my god, I remember seeing a picture of a little kid with that name on it, and it was just funny. You know, it could be distasteful to some people, but I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, an FA Gambit, like, dude, that's another one I'm trying to buy more of. Stay away from 30K comics. Pretty much most of last year's drops were over minted. Yeah, well, it's hard because I wouldn't necessarily say that, like, oh, avoid any 30K mint comic, because I mean, you look at some of the 60K mint comics, some of them are, I mean, compared to their all-time highs, but even now, like, they're holding their value decently well. I mean, we look at like Amazing Spider-Man. Here, let me go to the full screen here. And now this is kind of an exception to the rule, because I mean, we had some banger comics. Like the first like 5 comics that came out on Veve were all like really good. So Amazing Spider-Man, I mean, this is a 60,000 comic, but it's at 23 gems. So, and that's the other thing too, right? It's like, would you rather buy a Black Panther or an Amazing Spider-Man #1? But there is 60,000 of these. I think what's probably more on par with Black Panther, at least just like mint number wise and price wise right now, is, I just saw it earlier. Maybe I overlooked it. And if I'm repeating myself, I apologize. I did mention some of these things on my Collectibles stream, but like Amazing Spider-Man #2, it's like, this is actually cheaper than Black Panther right now. You know, rares are at like 25 or 27, commons are at 19, and I think this one's 7,500 mints, right? What I could have sworn one of these was 70. Yeah, this one is 7,500 mints too. So this one actually has 25% less supply than Black Panther. I'm not sure how accurate they are price wise in real life. What was that #2? I love how anytime I like look up these comics on Google, I always have to type in, like, it shows a bunch of things of the comics, and I always have to type in "go collect" at the end in order to like actually get pricing. I would say, I mean, from what I've seen, I don't know, this is why you need like Sleeping Comics here or something. It does look like ASM #2 does go for more money in real life, but that's not the end all be all. I do think digital collectibles or comics aren't always gonna behave exactly like their physical counterparts. 30,000 is nothing when the masses join Veve, millions of users in the future potentially. Exactly. And I think it's just gonna, if anything, they're all gonna be scarce. It's just the 10 and 20,000 mint comics, or the 7,500 mint comics, are just gonna be that much more scarce, right? And I imagine that pretty much every comic book collector is going to be able to pick this one out, like on the shelf. Like anyone that's even a semi-casual comic book collector is going to know this comic and want to grab a copy. You know, I think that's why it's probably good that there's 60,000 of these, because everyone's going to want one. No, Amazing Fantasy, that's a whole nother story. I still don't own one of these. I was almost going to scoop one up when it was at like 250, I would say. I remember it got pretty low. I don't know if it actually got that low. I'm gonna use oh, it signed me out. Let me sign in. Do not know why it signed me out. Cool. Hopefully this will tell us how low it got. I know sometimes ecomi wiki can be a bit weird with some of the search features. Type in amazing. Amazing? Spot. Oof. Okay, that's not help. Amazing Fantasy 15. Where's the common? Down here. And it still shows like old pricing too. I know you guys can't see it because my head's in the way, but it says it's like 315, which is not the case. Okay, it looks like its all-time low was like 300 gems. I do remember I was trying to buy it when it got below 350, but I was just buying other stuff at the time, and hasn't, obviously it's not like run away or anything like that, but I mean, it did hit up to 800 during a bear market, which is pretty nuts. Let's go back to one more. There we go. I would love to be able to, and I think I can do that. I think Veve set list, or no, right here. Hey, by the way, we're on Sleeping Comics page. Comics by tier. So I'm just gonna look at some of these. So I'm just gonna search 30K or 30,000. Wow, we have a lot of comics at 30,000. We have 89 comics at 30K mints. And majority of them aren't amazing. But if we look up here, like, are you just like gonna not buy Daredevil #1 because it has 30K mints? That's actually a comic I do need to buy. Looking at this, same thing with Doctor Doom. Like, there's some fantastic comics. I remember I got a huge stack. I used to, not anymore. I used to have a huge stack of Ghost Rider. I think at one point I had like 15 or 30 of the commons. I think like 15 or 30 uncommons, no rares, and I had like 5 or 6 like ultra rares, and I slowly just kind of just sold them off as I had them. I made profit on like probably 20 or 30% of them, and like the other 50% I just did not make profit, unfortunately. But I think there's still too many good comics at 30K that you at the very least want to own one. Same thing with Miles Morales Ultimate Fallout. I still want to buy the rare of that. I'm waiting for it to go below 100. That's my target for the Miles Morales rare comic. Like, it is just too good to not want to take. Date listed. Let's see here. Ultimate Fallout. Yeah, like the rare, dude. Best looking rare on the entire app. I don't care what anyone says. This is the best looking comic on the app. Last I checked, it was at, yeah, like 228. I think this did go below 100 for a little bit. A lot of the stuff I wanted to buy was in striking range a couple months ago, or like even the last like 60 days. To be honest, I held off because I was waiting for the merge. I was like, you know what, if Ultimate Fallout is at, 90 gems right now, I imagine post merge it could go down even more, so I'm gonna wait. But the merge hasn't happened. I mean, the merge is happening right now, but it hasn't necessarily fully happened yet. So I was actually just working on merging my accounts right now too, because actually one of my accounts, maybe you guys can see, I actually have quite a few comics on this. I got about $150 worth of comics, because this is my alt account, like literally right here, and I was gonna merge it. I keep messing that up. I know it might be kind of hard to see, but I got some comics here. So I got the Silver Surfer, no grails or anything like that, no secret rares, but a lot of uncommons on this one. Like, dude, this account won a ton of uncommons on drops. It's kind of crazy. So, we got first appearance of Catwoman, we got Journey into Mystery, so that's Loki, that's Nick Fury, that's oh my god, dude. You guys can kind of see. Strange Tales 111, more Cable, more Black Cat. Yep. But what's really valuable on this is that this actually has the ultra rare Vader on it, as well as a Tesseract, a common Vader, a Thor, and an Ursula, which whatever. But yeah, I mean, there's about $1,000 worth of stuff on this account that I would like to get transitioned over to my main account. I stack Ultimate Fallout 4s. That's a good call. It is the future of Spider-Man, right? I know Peter Parker is always going to be the Spider-Man. But Miles Morales, man, that's awesome. Welcome to the Common Gang. Tucson Collectibles, thanks for joining, dude. We had some people earlier that have been in the Common Gang for 11 months. I know it doesn't say it on here when I pull it up, but yeah, dude, there's been people in the Common Gang for a while. And I really appreciate you guys that have stuck with me, because I know I've been, gosh, for the better part of, other than this month, basically from, I would say, November to like December, like August to December last year, I was not making much content. I was just busy. You guys get today's comic? I did. I sold my rare for like 31 bucks or 31 gems. Bought a common for 23 gems. And because I really just wanted the common, like, don't get me wrong, I like the rare, but I really just wanted the common cover, and I just wanted to take the 7 gem profit, and like, I'd rather just put that towards more X-Men comics. Sometimes I get up to ultra rare on drops on Veve, but on DC it's Common Gang every, dude, same here. Common Gang for life. Although there was a streak where I just got rares, but it was for like the trash tier comics that I probably should not have gone for. Like, there's a few I can show you really quick. I'm actually logged into it. So this is my account, or my collections. So I got 2 of the Flash comics. This one, like, this is like the first appearance of like the multiverse, or like when they bring it up. So look at that, like uncommon Batgirl, no, Harley Quinn FA, uncommon Brave and Bold, common Detective Comics, common Superman. This is my airdropped Harley Quinn that I just kept. But I did get a streak of rares with Crisis on Infinite Earths and Wonder Woman, so I do have rares of both of these. I do think people are sleeping on the Legacy cowl, because I did have what's-his-face in the Discord like confirm, like, the very first officially licensed DC comic on the blockchain technically is Batman, the Legacy cowl. So that's the first comic ever on the blockchain by DC. But if you want to go, that's like a technicality. But the first ever like actually printed DC comic that's on the blockchain is Superman. So the first like printed one that exists in real life is Superman. But just like the first ever like officially licensed DC comic is Batman, the Legacy cowl. So what are your current feelings on Veve? Overall, I've kind of become, honestly, when it comes to like release dates, like OUP, MCP, Comics and Showroom, merge is happening right now, so I can kind of stop saying that. Kind of indifferent. Like, I'm not, a lot of my investing strategy doesn't solely revolve around OUP or MCP. It's definitely in the back of my mind, and I do know it kind of puts like a timer on certain collectibles. Like, all right, when MCP and like Comics and Showrooms comes up, comics are naturally going to pump. By how much, I don't know. So I'm kind of like keeping cognizant of that. Not the biggest fan of the new logo. I know some people were memeing on it, saying it looks like a heart app, or like it looks like you're trying to apply for like new health insurance or something like that. It looks, I don't know. It also looks like a dating app or something like that. Like, I get the, you know, we can speculate all day as to why they changed it. No one really knows. I mean, there's some like leading theories and stuff, but I like the old version. I mostly feel bad for all the people that were promised a Veve logo, the blue and white one, like what, 6-7 months ago at this point. We're promised a logo and are waiting and waiting and waiting, and now when they do it, they're gonna get this new logo. Obviously the OG golden, was it black and gold, or the gold and white logo, whatever, the current one that we have. Obviously that's going to go up a lot. I was really trying to get that logo. I could never afford it. Obviously I wasn't given one, so I'm kind of just letting it go at this point. I'm sure a day's going to come when I do buy it, but to be honest, as of right now, the only utility that exists for it is just if you're physically there at a convention, you get something, which is cool. I'm sure there's going to be more than plenty in-game, not in-game, but like in-app utility eventually, but as of right now, I'd rather just stack. I don't know. I just have different plans. Ah, yeah. Golden Moment Poos are back at box price. Yeah. Gotta get them poos, box price poos. Austin Grau, in my opinion, Black Panther comic is definitely a good buy at the moment. Black Panther compared to Ultimate Fallout is worth way more in real life, a lot more room to go. Yeah, well, Black Panther comic is also what, like 30, 40 years older than Ultimate Fallout. So there is that, but I agree. I understand and I appreciate the popularity and all that stuff behind Black Panther, but just me personally, it's like I could either spend another 25, 26 gems on this, or I could buy a stack of something else. It's just a different strategy. Also, I just don't have a ton of gems to play with right now. At least right now. I do plan on putting in some more in a bit. Comics and showroom. Solid stream today, VV Arcade. Yeah, dude, that was awesome. I had to step away towards, I think, probably like the latter half of it before my collectibles, but I like the visual and like the audio, like game show, like listen to music and stuff. That's a ton of fun. Did you see the new logo match the meta logo? Yeah, they look similar. I don't know if that's intentional, or it's just kind of a sign that like all these like techie startup, not so techie startup, but all these kind of like M3 space tech places are just very samey now. All the logos look kind of the same and are all kind of just like trying to piggyback off of each other. Who knows? But at the same time, oof. Yeah, I wasn't paying that close attention. I think it's just could be a coincidence, but I'm sure they know what the meta logo looks like. Ultimate Fallout 4 Rare is undervalued in my opinion. That cover is amazing. Yeah, I've been saying it's by far and away the best rare logo. By far and away the best rare cover. Though there's a lot of good rare covers. This is my favorite place to go to look at like covers and stuff. If you go to my NFT tracker, you go to NFTs. So you go to rare comics. It shows you all the rare comics that exist on Veve. And dude, this format is perfect. I really wish I could do this on other platforms, or God forbid Veve has the thing like this where you can just search by rarity. But it's so hard to beat. Let's go to the very beginning. I didn't realize House of X. I didn't realize this was a rare. That's kind of funny. So yeah, this is called my NFT tracker. It's completely free. You don't have to pay for anything. You don't even have to create an account or do anything on it. Like, I mean, you just look at Ultimate Fallout, dude. I mean, even this one too. 361, which I believe is Carnage. I think this is the first appearance of Carnage. But dude, Ultimate Fallout, it's really hard to beat that. Plus, I mean, this one's kind of cool too with Cyclops on it. It's just the ones that are outside of the norm of the black and white. I like Strange Academy. Very colorful, unique cover. I think I have that cover. I think I bought it like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. I do like Black Knight as well. Of course, the Uncanny X-Men 308. It's pretty rare for me to actually just straight up buy a comic cover just because I like the cover. More often than not, I'm just kind of buying what I think is going to be valuable. Also, ones characters that I do like. I'm not surprised by any of these prices. Once we get more actual collectors and not sellers, stuff will potentially be worth way more. Yeah, it's just gonna take time, right? I do think we don't just need like a handful of whales or, you know, X amount of people to get in. Like I think in order for Veve to like really go parabolic, I'm talking like, you know, that Ultimate Fallout common is up to like 300 gems or something like that. Like in order for things to go like parabolic, like we need a cultural shift. Like we need a cultural shift for people to actually understand and like digital collectibles. We need the licensors to be bought in, give utility, do fun stuff. We need M3, metaverse, NFTs. Like we need everyone to be bought in on this. And And to be quite frank, I think in order for that to happen, we need to get like, we might need crypto to become a security. I know it's not right now, and there probably is legislation looking at it, but once it becomes a security, everyone's going to cash out. You know, basically everyone that pumps and dumps all these cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. But the second there's at least a level of security, or at least recognition from governing bodies for things like crypto, and that's kind of innately just transfers over to NFTs, right? Because pretty much all NFTs are being traded with crypto or bought and sold, except for Veve. But the second there's a layer of security there, now people might actually look into it. People actually recognize it as an investable thing. It's not just some speculative thing where you can get pumped and dumped, or you can basically get scammed. So it's gonna take a while. Just saying, you know, even if we do get a bunch of collectors on the app, even collectors only have so much money and time in the day. But even collectors at a certain point, you know, one day, let's say 2 years from now, when Ultimate Fallout Common is up to 150, they're going to be looking at it and be like, am I really buying a digital common for 150 bucks? Right? Just because, again, we need that cultural shift, that buy-in, like everyone just understands and accepts. You know, Marvel needs to start giving utility. They need to start advertising it. They need to give reasons for people to buy and own these. Metaverse needs to pop off so you can actually show off your comics in your showrooms, or at least other places. Like a lot needs to happen before I think people get to the prices where they think they should be. I know it's not like the most like bullish and like crazy thing, but it's gonna take a while for it to happen. And to be quite honest, I've been looking at the market like very closely. I mean, these prices that we had, where is it? I mean, okay, well, Amazing Fantasy 15 is not a great example. Let's look at old school something. Todd, we'll show Todd. Oh, it's because it's not a comic. I mean, this is X. This might take a minute. You know, Todd going back up to 10K or like 15K, like back here, you know, above 12. I have to say, but this is all artificial gems. Like we knew what happened. We don't know how much, but odds are there was millions of gems pumped into the market. And that's why everything was just selling for so much more. Now, am I kicking myself for not selling my Steamboat Willie for like 10K and I had like 10 days to do it? Yeah, I could buy a lot of shit right now with 10,000 gems, but I think before we see this kind of price point again, like where stuff is like up here, I think it's gonna take years. Like, it's gonna take a while. Omi's gonna help it. You know, advertising, getting more people on the platform, all that stuff is gonna help it, yes. But in order to get to like these prices and above, we need like huge buy-in from licensors, from just, you know, like I said, we need to be culturally bought into the idea of digital collectibles, and the licensors need to give the holders a reason to hold on to it and sell it and all that stuff. You're making me want to stack some of these. I'm so surprised that Gym 83 prices haven't risen by now. Dude, there's a lot of comics you can look at that are still super, super cheap. Let's look at some, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna look at some commons, and my NFT tracker, I think, updates like once a day. But if we look at some of the old school ones, so let's look at some of the old school commons. And I think these prices are pretty accurate. Hello? Oh, it's loading. It's thinking. Might have to refresh it. Which was the database with the MCP point values? That is Veve. No, that's not it. VeveSetlist.com. I know it's kind of hard to see because my thing is blocking, but it's called Veve Setlist. I try to be realistic. Like, I don't, as much as I like all these collectibles and characters, and I'm putting more money in, like I said, and I do want to stack more of this stuff, it's gonna take time. Like, I'm fully not expecting like this stuff to pump in the near future. Let's say that. But yeah, so this is Veve Setlist. So you can organize it by seasons, sets. There's comics, collectibles, all that kind of stuff here, which is pretty cool. Actually, I need to move my camera this way more. There we go. Might pick up myself an IRL 9.8 Ultimate Fallout this year, only selling for around 2 grand at the moment. It's not bad. See, that's kind of where I get caught up. Like, I want to start buying physical stuff too, but at the same time, I'm like, but dude, I could buy a lot of stuff on Veve or Omi with 2 grand, right? I mean, for 2 grand, you're pretty much at the point of getting that, what's it called? Like the Omi, like the level 1 Omi. Yeah, I mean, you're right there. You want to be able to get, I think you need to spend like 3 grand in Omi in order to get the tier 1 level or whatever for the OUP program. Because you have to buy it, then bridge it, which I think burns some. And that takes a while. But dude, that's awesome. That's just what goes through my head whenever I think about spending that kind of money. But dude, if you can get an Ultimate Fallout 9.8, that makes you part of a pretty cool club of people. Because I think I saw a picture of that on Twitter earlier today too. Someone said they had like 2 of them, which looked awesome. Do you guys read the comics? Not really. I think I've only read 2 comics. I did read Ghost Rider, the first appearance from cover to cover. I was just reading it when I was on the toilet. And the other one was Moon Knight, which I think I've read most of. The first appearance of Moon Knight comic. I think I've read most of it, but not all of it. It's kind of hard to be honest, because it's just the comics of the time, but it's just so campy. And so, like, it's funny looking at some of these comic covers from back in the day, because even back then there was clickbait, right? Like, I remember, I don't know, there was a picture we were looking at earlier today of like Ant-Man. This guy had like a magnifying glass, like zooming in on Ant-Man. And I said, like, look, it's Ant-Man, or is it an imposter? Like, I don't know. But I mean, that's what makes these comics great though, right? Is it definitely gets you into the time. And for some people, like myself, like it makes me nostalgic for an era that I didn't exist in, which is kind of funny. Like just all these like campy quotes that he says here. He's like, Spider-Man, no, I've got you. He's like, hey, what? It's like, surprised? See why they call me the Sandman? He's like covering him in sand. It's got to be some heavy sand if you're keeping down Spider-Man with some sand. Good to see you streaming vibes. If you had to pick one, which would you, which will have a bigger impact? MCP or OUP? That's tough. They're gonna definitely, they're both gonna affect the market in different ways. I still think Omi is like a bit too cheap for people to like, for people to want to buy things with Omi right now. It's kind of rough because Omi's obviously down a lot, right? I mean, if you bought it at any point in the last year and a half, you're down quite a bit. Other than maybe the last couple months or something when it went down to like 307, like 0.007 something. If you bought then okay, of course you're up. But it's just hard to imagine that people are OUP and then they're gonna like use that Omi to like buy stuff, but like their Omi's down so much. I think people are gonna wait for their Omi to go up before they start buying stuff with it. And even then, if that collectible's also gone up with it, it's like now you're just could have just bought that collectible 2 years ago or a year ago for a better price. But if I had to pick, probably MCP. I do think when we get the final numbers on MCP, because they haven't officially released it yet, right? And we have no idea, which is why I've been kind of holding off on like just chasing MCP points with like rare comics and this and that, because we have no idea how many points it's going to cost to buy extra tickets or to buy what do you call them, like accessories for your showroom and all that stuff. Like, because there could be a point where it's like, oh, by the way, drop tickets are now 500 points, and in order to get an extra drop ticket a day, you have to buy 5 rare comics, right? For an extra 1 drop ticket a month, you have to buy 5 rare comics or own like 5 rare comics or something like that. For some people that's a lot, for some not so much. So I don't know, like I'm a big min-maxer myself when I play a lot of video games, tabletop, a lot of different stuff. I like to min-max it. And the fact that MCP has changed like twice since the beginning, and Veve is also doing a lot of changes, new logo, new like new website, new drop system, like everything is new. You know, the OUP is also relatively new. Like they've changed it a couple times. Wouldn't surprise me if they also change MCP. It would suck for people to get less points or to have people's investments kind of become worse because they invested a certain way with MCP, but I don't know. Wow, that's a brutal looking chart. Oof, yeah. Ronnie, what's up, dude? Oh, congrats on winning. You won one of the Veve Arcade drops, right? Like you guessed correctly, so congrats to you. Big A, Ronnie, you got an SR today, right? Did he? That's awesome. What were we looking at? Oh, the comics. Okay, I don't know why that's happening. All right, so common comics. We're gonna let the OG ones, because there's actually a lot of OG comics right now below retail, or at least close to it. So Journey into Mystery, the first appearance of Loki is at like 10 gems. This one's been happening for a while. First appearance of Deadpool, that one's at 6 gems right now. You know, again, it's 60,000 mints, but still Deadpool. So if you don't own one, now might be a decent time to grab one. Amazing Spider-Man. I think last I saw this was at 22 gems, not 23 or 24 like it says right now. Like there's some old school comics that you can pick up right now common wise that are close to box price. BV Vibes got the common 280 mint, sick cover, stoked. Yeah, it is. That's awesome. Are you keeping it? You looking for buyers? What are you gonna do with that comic? That's an awesome mint number. I wanted to get the common too. I actually scored the rare on the draw, but I sold it so I could buy the common and just like keep the gem profit, invest it into something else. First appearance of Hawkeye, below retail. Green Goblin is below retail, but just barely. I mean, this is the comic that has the most mints of any comic. This one has 70,000 mints. So it's quite a bit. First appearance of Kingpin. I know this is a very popular comic. I know comic book collectors like this comic a lot. It's like 10 bucks. Gosh. Beta Ray Bill. I remember buying an ultra rare of this for quite a bit. And now it's nowhere near what it used to be. Well, I just had it. So collection. Yeah, there's a Beta Ray Bill like ultra rare that I got. Did I pass it? No, it should be. No. Probably down here. Here it is. I do not want to know how much I spent on this. 510 gems. I bought this. Does it say when I bought it? I'd have to go back and like my purchase history or whatever, but yeah, I bought this for 510 gems probably like 9 months ago at this point. Maybe a bit longer. 9-10 months ago. Yeah, I just really like the cover. I like the character, but it hurts my soul just to know that I could have just waited and bought 5 more, but that's just VV nowadays, right? What if? Spaced Ben, what's up, dude? Good to see you, Vibes. Good to see you too. A lot of like newer names, or at least like names I haven't seen in a while. Vibes, are you in any OpenSea projects trying to diversify and been buying a few things there? I was initially trying to get into a kid called Beast. I had a friend tell me about it. I shit you not, like the day of and like 3 hours before the drop. I'm also just not very well versed with OpenSea and like dealing with wallets. Like I've burned so much, like not a ton, but I burn a decent amount of money just trying to like figure out like bridging and transferring and all that stuff. It's just a headache. So I'm just right now I'm pretty much just sticking with Veve, Palm NFT / like DC, that whole project. I am kind of like in the Lord of the Rings one. I still have the NFT that I bought like 3 months ago at this point, and there's still been no announcements, no nothing with that project at all. So I still own that. I'm not like bullish on the project. I'm not going to put any more money in, but just kind of I just have an NFT there. And of course, all these other OpenSea projects from Veve Arcade and all that stuff. I am in Fiche right now, so I got some Fiche. Still not 100% certain like how the project works and all that kind of stuff, but would be nice to see it in the in the Veveverse and all that. But no, not in too many projects. Like it's just too much effort and energy to like do research on the projects and like go to the Discord and find out if they're cool and if there's utility and there's all this other stuff going on, and then using ETH or OMI, using like ETH or Matic or whatever they're going to use, and dealing with that. Like, I don't know, the whole Todd McFarlane thing just became a headache because I'm like, all right, I have this like low mint spawn that I want to get rid of, but I have to deal with Matic and I just hate dealing with it. But Big A, long story short, not really. I'd rather just stick to what I know and kind of keep my eyes and ears open rather than try to jump through a bunch of hoops that I like don't fully understand. That's just me. Base Lab 23 says, I have Omi sitting in the Veve wallet doing nothing. When did you buy that? How long have you had that Omi just chilling in there? I mean, if you bought at like an absurdly cheap price, then hell yeah. I mean, well, as of right now, it's doing nothing, but eventually when you can stake it, that's nice. So good for you. I still don't have the Omi. I do plan on getting some soon. I know I've been saying that for like 6 months, but I will get some. Wonder why they made FA Green Goblin so many mints, still holding the UR. It was just early Veve. They even said they were just experimenting with like covers, mint numbers, all kinds of stuff. Maybe because the first few comics with 60k mints like sold out, and they're like, all right, maybe we do 70k. Like, who knows? I bet you if we asked like David Yu and Dan, like even they wouldn't know. Like, I don't know. We're just trying mint numbers and just seeing what worked. And like one time we just said screw it with Avengers 8 and just did 10k mints, you know. Hey Vibes, got a comment on the drop and grabbed an ultra rare from the market for 84 gems, which I think should be the all-time low. Only 500 of them. Yeah, I mean, we all agree. I mean, we were talking earlier, like pretty much the majority of chat agreed. I like this cover a lot. The full color, because all the other versions are like black and white or like grayscale or whatever it is. This is like the only like full color version. And also in general, I do think people sleep on the ultra rare covers, like the Veve exclusive colors and full color. I do think people sleep on them. I think pretty much most people only care for like the common and the secret rare, because common's the classic cover, the secret rare is like the Veve exclusive panel pool and it looks cool and all that stuff, and it has the lowest mints, and which is awesome, don't get me wrong. But I do think people overlook the ultra rares. Rares are good too, but I think the ultra rares is something that people overlook all the time. Even though it might not be the very first purchase that like a lot of like comic book collectors go for, like if you had a shit ton of money. But I think that is one way to stand out, is to like, do you have the Veve exclusive covers or variants, right? Missed today's drop, but we'll pick up a common later on. Yeah. I don't know if these prices are going to keep going down. You know, again, not financial advice, but I don't know if like this is, I just don't see this going back down to 23 like it was earlier. I feel like it's, you know, there's a lot of listings at 26. I mean, there's probably like 2 pages worth of listings at 26, but I don't see this like going down. So maybe sooner rather than later, but again, not financial advice. I got 2 A Kid Called Beast at drop price. They're about 5x at the minute. Yeah, I tried to get one. I just got error over and over and over. I was one of those people that just got like a ton of errors. I had enough ETH in my wallet to like buy one, but it just wouldn't let me. I got nothing but errors. I was hanging out in the Discord. I was hanging out in the Twitter Spaces. Like Discord wasn't working. Twitter Spaces, nobody knew what was going on. And I think like during the drop, I had friends over and stuff, and I'm like, I literally told them like, yeah, I'm gonna step away. I might be gone for like, you know, 15-20 minutes. Ended up being like over an hour, and I'm like, dude, I can't sit here for like 2 more hours just like waiting for them to figure their shit out. So I stepped away, and then I heard that they were doing another drop, but then it got scammed, and like this, it's just like a whole bunch of headaches that is just like not worth, in my opinion. I didn't have enough ETH in my wallet to like buy one in the secondary afterward. I had like barely enough to like mint it, but not enough to like buy one in the secondary. Because I think I only had like 200 bucks worth of ETH at the time, so I could like mint one, but I didn't have enough to like buy the ones in the secondary. Ooh. All right. Hopefully this works. Kind of curious to see what's up and what's down right now. Even though sometimes these aren't always 100% accurate. Strange Tales 138, huh? At least according to this, it's like last week. Oh, this shows like all time since it came out. All right. $17. It's kind of hard because these, I feel like these graphs might be a bit off. Yeah, dude, looking at these charts is just, can't believe this. Like first appearance of Falcon, like rare comic, was at, you know, I mean, it was hovering around this for like 2 weeks. It was hovering between $56 to $66 for a while, your gems, and now it's at down to 10. Sad sight to see. Uncommon. What do you guys think about uncommon comics? I feel like those are some sleepers. I don't know, I feel like everyone just dumps those, and I know not every single comic variant or cover or whatever can be a winner, but I feel like someone's missing something with these uncommon covers, right? Like sometimes the uncommon covers are half the price of the commons, and there's a certain point where you ask yourself like, all right, there's half the amount of uncommons. I know it's the normal cover, but the black and white variant, is it that like unappealing? Is it better to own 10 commons than 20 uncommons, considering that the uncommons actually have less mints than the commons as well? So I'm just kind of curious what you guys think on that, because I feel like there's something missing here. And for certain comics it makes sense, but other comics I'm just like, this is super low. And I think it's most apparent with something like AF15, which I know my Collectibles has been making a move on the uncommons. I passed it. Yeah, it's Amazing Fantasy. I mean, you just like look here, it's 400 gems for the common, but you know, 260 for the uncommon. So there's a certain point where it's like, all right, would I rather have 10 commons or 15 uncommons? Uncommons are the most mints of non-original covers. Most mint, well, it's still an original cover. It's still the original cover, right? It's usually just grayscale or black and white. Yeah, I figured it's not the OG cover. And how much is this? Yeah, 333. So like I said, I realized, you know, one of the rarities has to be the cheapest, because I feel like I kind of not necessarily made a mistake, but I would have made more money if I bought 2 Thor FA comics rather than 3 uncommons, if that makes sense. Nice. I had a Wag Me Way, a kid called Beast, pretty cool, but sold it before prices fell. Nice. Yeah, I heard prices drop pretty hard, like once the, what's it called, the uncovering process, or when they like revealed all the stuff about the NFTs. I heard the price, some, you know, unless you were probably in the top 5, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% of NFTs for your category, your thing was just immediately less valuable. So Well, no matter what you sold it for, you probably got profit, Pixel Trader, so good for you. Because if we look at my collection here, where's FA Thor? There you are. So I bought 3 of these. I think one I got on drop. The other ones I bought, you know, it's like I actually got this on drop for 20 gems. So I got one on drop. Oof. I hate it when it takes you back to the home screen when you click back. But the other ones I got for around the same price. And this one I got for 33. So I'm still profitable. Not as profitable as I would like it to be. And then the other one, I think I paid a bit less. Maybe the same price. Yeah, 37. This one, not as profitable. Actually, it's not profitable right now. So part of me was like, God, I could have just bought them on the day that they dropped because they were super low. Could have just bought commons. Nice. The Wagmies were the way above the rest of the Beasthoods. Yeah. All the cool gold and rare ones were swept up. Yeah, I can imagine. Look at the ASM1 and MC1 variant covers. Scarce or not, I'm not convinced those variants should be worth more than the common. Huh. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. I think that's mostly just due to back then. You know, you have to remember too, people were just buying up those comics for very, very high prices. So Marvel Comics 1 common. I mean, you have to remember there was a period of time where people were buying these for like $500, right? Was it 500? Yeah. I mean, there's a period of time for like a week people were paying over 600 for these comics. And I think so. This is the common, uncommon. I would say the so yeah, people were paying about the same price, maybe a tiny bit higher here. So old comics, I think there was much more emphasis. I'm not talking old comics, like I'm talking comics that were released early on Veve. I think there was more emphasis on scarcity than there was on original covers, you know, secret rare, this or that. I'm trying to remember, but it was around towards the end of 2020, maybe early 2021. No, I wasn't even around then. I'm talking late 2021, early 2022, where the idea of the commons should be worth more because it's the original cover. And then from then on, I feel like a lot of commons started pumping and started actually surpassing. And it might have been around this time, like I'm talking December, January. And it might have been around this time where a lot of the covers, a lot of the commons started surpassing the uncommons. Because I think back then people just agreed like, yeah, uncommons are more scarce. They're literally half the mints because when you look it up, usually it's like okay, 6,000 commons and then like 4,000 or 3,000 uncommons, like way less, so it should be worth more. Yeah. The Veve team is running Google ads, are they? Let's see. I'm gonna type in Marvel NFTs. Maybe that's not like ideal enough. You know what? It's probably because I have ad blocker. That's why I can't say anything. I'll do it on my phone. Kind of curious to see if like maybe I'll do like Star Wars. Maybe because I'm doing the search terms directly, like you can set up your Google ads in a way where your ads won't show if they're looking up like if they're looking up a specific terms. I don't see any like Google ads necessarily. At least I don't see it. I'm stacking 4-digit MC1s, missed the boat on 3 digits. Yeah, that's You're talking some very scarce stuff at that point. Especially since there's so many mints that are not 3 and 4 digit. Because there's 60k mints. It's a decent call. Search Marvel digital collectibles. Okay, let me do that. Because my computer has ad blockers, so it's not going to show up. I see Marvel Collect. I see Veve, but it's almost like a listing, not an ad. What if I did Disney digital collectibles? Yeah, I see Disney Collect, then I saw Marvel Collect, but I don't see anything. Let me see. Yeah, it's different. I don't see Veve like. Oh no, actually I do see it now. It's hard to see. Actually, I do see it now. So I did Disney. Oof, let me do this. So I did this. So I did Disney. Oh God, you guys can't see that shit at all, can you? So there's Veve. I know it's super hard to read. If I tilt it down, back. Anyway, you can kind of see it says sponsored right there, and it says Veve. So there are Google ads. But you have to remember, you know, it's cool. I agree. But the only people we're targeting are people that are specifically looking for digital collectibles, right? Speculative investments, crypto, NFTs, that kind of stuff. We're not really appealing to the everyday person that is just searching for Disney stuff. Maybe if we did just Disney collectibles. Yeah, there has to be certain search terms, because if you do just Disney collectibles or Disney, we'll do like digital toys. Like I could play with this all day. Yeah, I don't see an ad for Veve. Like those are the people we need to target. Like people that want physical, people that just want like general Disney memorabilia. And then there's Veve, not people that have. Yeah, we want more people. Obviously, that's going to be great, but is this ecomi wiki? I thought they stopped updating the site. Yeah. Probably, but it's still has the pricing somewhat updated. I need to talk with Omi the Clown, because the prices do seem out of date, and I must have missed that at some point. So maybe I should do something else instead of using another website other than ecomi wiki. Actually, you know what? Before I forget, I'm just going to do it now. Before I forget. Yeah, I'm looking at like Omi the Clown's like profile. Looks like he's kind of stepped away from. I don't know, this chart that he has here. It looks really similar to ecomi wiki. It almost looks identical. Oh well, I'll message him later. Yeah, but for now we'll close this. Open that. It's pretty poor, to be honest. Veve will hopefully step it up near end of Q1. To be honest, I'm not in a huge rush for advertising. I'm not in a huge, mostly because I just want to accumulate, to be quite honest, because in my mind, when you say we want advertising, you're basically saying I want prices to go up like now, or I want prices to go up eventually, right? I think just, you know, there's nothing wrong with just organic growth, people word of mouth, do all that stuff. But in my mind, like if you are saying like we need to do marketing, like why aren't we marketing? Why aren't we marketing? Why aren't we doing stuff? In my mind, that makes it sound like I want my NFTs, I want my collectibles to go up in price, right? I'm tired of this bear market. I'm tired of all this stuff. Like, we need more than that. Like I said, we need like a cultural shift of people like widely accepting like digital collectibles in order for that kind of stuff to happen. Again, this is all just my opinion. I could be completely wrong, but I do not mind if Veve takes a couple months or even a couple years to start like fully advertising. And honestly, I don't think the website is like even ready to handle more people. It's already like, you guys saw in the app earlier today, right? Like it was pretty laggy trying to snipe in the secondary market for Black Panther, and there's still errors and there's still people getting locked up randomly. There's still glitches in the system. So it's like, I just don't think it's like even marketing ready yet, but. Which of your collectibles have you been holding on to the longest? I would say it's either probably like some random comic, but if we look at the collectibles I have, I wonder, is there a way to see like brands, dates, sort by? That's release dates. There's nothing that shows you like how long you've actually held on to it for, huh? I would say, This Dick Sprang is probably pretty old. Do you guys want to see how disgusting this price difference is? I bought this for 800 gems. 800 gems I paid. Now it's at 61. So this thing has gone down, what, 93%? Something like that. This is definitely an old one. It's definitely one of my older ones. So either Dick Sprang or probably some like random comic that I have that like I got on drop, just forgot to sell it or do whatever. Why am I back here? Whoops. Yep, ecomi wiki stopped. All right, I'll stop using that. Try my NFT tracker, great charts, MCP free. Yeah, I got it right here. That's what I use. I like using it. Shows all the new stuff I like. I'm trying to see like which comic I bought like a long time. I'm trying to think about stuff I literally bought like late 2021. That's like the stuff I'm trying to remember right now off the top of my head. I don't remember like what the first comic I bought was. Like I bought and held. It was probably either like Powers of X or maybe Young Avengers, because I feel like I remember buying that one a long time ago. Inhumans. Like I'm trying to think of some like at least comics that were kind of like old school to me when I bought them. Because can you see the date on them, like when you bought them? I don't think so. No, you can't. Not that I'm seeing. Hurts my soul looking at some of the prices on these. Unless these are already, or yeah, these are actually already organized in order I purchased them in, right? At least for comics. Yeah, maybe these are some of my earliest comics that I bought. Marvel Team Up #1, Amazing Spider-Man, Captain America. Maybe this Avengers 8 one is probably one of the oldest ones I bought or that I have. I mean, I paid $244 for it, so now it's at 95. Always wondered why that Avengers 8 uncommon has always been cheaper than the common. I think it's a fairly unique cover. I like it. It's, I mean, it's part of my meme cover. And I almost thought about just turning that all green on like the screen, like over here, or technically over there. I'm just putting like my own caption or like a funny picture on it or something. But after drop, FF52 has way less listings than Gem 83. After drop, Fantastic Four 52 has way less listings than Gem 83. Really? Because I think I saw the maximum listings I saw was like at 1,200. Like there was like 1.2K comics on the market for Black Panther. I mean, it's already going down. It's at 1.18. So 1,186. Whoops. It's not what I meant to do at all. Comics. What's the pricing now at? It's going up to 26. I mean, there's a huge wall at 26. Once this 26 gets eaten up, it's still going to take a while. It might take a few days. I mean, it took Gem 83, what, like 3 or 4 days after drop for it to like start really seeing price movement. I say Q1 as what they said themselves. Oh, okay, gotcha. I guess I was talking more in just like generalities. I know a lot of people were, oh wait, I was not showing my screen at all. I guess I was talking more in generalities. People saying that like we should start advertising and stuff. Yeah, so Fantastic Four, there's 1.18 K mints. There's like 1,200 something earlier. I think it's gonna take 3 or 4 days for it to really start seeing some significant movement. You know, especially if we're gonna get like a big drop announcement in the next couple of days, people are gonna kind of forget about it. Pixel Trader says Veve needs to speak more on OMI and OUP side from occasionally Reese, aside from occasional Reese comments. It's a huge part of Veve and OG members. Yeah. I mean, in a way, OMI was around before Veve, right? And so there's a lot of early investors into OMI before Veve, so. Maybe it's just because I'm biased because I don't own any OMI, so I'm like, I don't care. I mean, not so much I don't care, it's more I'm just not monetarily invested, so it's like I don't care too much. But if I were to buy OMI and I was coming in with the expectation of like, all right, where's my OUP? I put thousands of dollars into OMI, when can I buy stuff? But even then, I feel like even when OUP gets implemented, there's not gonna be a lot of buying collectibles, I feel like, with OMI, because people are down so much with OMI. But the whole program of like staking it and getting rewards and all that stuff, I definitely think that's a huge part. So hopefully the sooner they can figure that out, the better. Good amount of Veve came from crypto or OMI. Yeah, exactly. Dawn on Daisy was the worst. It was still around the time of golden moment height, but the start of the crash. I mean, the crash started during, I mean, it's happening during lenticulars too, right? Like shit like shot up and then it started going down. I think it's because it started going down because at that point we kind of lost faith in not just like, oh, golden moments, but also I don't remember hearing it directly, but I could have swore people were talking about, oh, Alex said that we're not getting any more golden moments. This was after the original set, and then they brought out the duo ones, like the Valentine ones, and we're like, oh shit, there's more golden moments coming. Maybe the originals aren't so great, or maybe aren't going to be as scarce as we think, because now there's going to be hundreds of golden moments or whatever. Could still be the case, even though they said that's the end of this series. It doesn't mean they can start a new series or do whatever. It's the only thing that kind of makes me nervous with golden moments a little bit. Plus, it was so early on. There's, in the grand scheme of things, yeah, 13,000 Elsas isn't a lot, but right now it is. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, you're pretty much right. That's around the time within a, you know, plus or minus a month of when the market started really turning around. Is there anything you would find particularly hard to sell and let go if we ever pump? I'm not too married to like a lot of my collectibles, to be honest. Like, part of me might not sell Steamboat Willie just out of sheer stubbornness, because I've watched this thing go up to 10K and I held it all the way through, and now it's down 96% from its all-time high. It's maybe one of those things where it's like, I'm just gonna hold it because I can. Like I just don't know how else to like describe it. That might be like the only one. Let me look at my collectibles again. No, pretty much everything else I could see myself potentially selling, flipping, getting rid of, like whatever. T-Rex maybe, just because I feel like I always want to have one on hand just to use. It's like an awesome thing. Comics is a bit different story. There might be a handful of comics I'm just like, look, I'm not gonna sell my last one. I'm gonna always keep at least one. Yeah, I'll have to like think on that one for like comics. I mean, it's gonna be a case by case basis for the comics. Vigorous Pigeon says, paid 500 for my Jaunty Jig Steamboat Willie. Always hurt my soul till I exported my CSV recently and saw that I actually bought the uncommon Steamboat Willie for 450, sold it for 1800 last January. Don't know how I forgot that. Good on you. That's awesome. Yeah, there was a lot of time where it's hard, right? When the entire community is telling you, oh, we're pumping. Veve's telling you there's 20,000 new users going on Veve every day. Like everyone's on cloud 9. You know, basically people were getting like ostracized by the community. Like if you were caught flooring stuff, people called you out and, hey, why are you flooring this? You know, why are you fudding this? All that stuff. I was there for all that. And some people are worse than others and some people didn't care. I never really cared whether people sold stuff at all. I feel like people were upset that people were flooring stuff because they thought their collectibles worth X amount, or like, hey, just let it ride. Why are you flooring stuff? Like, you're ruining my investment. You also have to take that into consideration too. Like when you buy something, like you're not the only one that owns a Hero for Hire #1. There's 20,000 other people that also own it. I don't know how many mint numbers is this? 30. Like there's 29,999 other people that own this, and they affect your price. You know, I've heard people like will buy comics or collectibles because the floor is thin. You know, as you know, for example, go on the market. What's like an old thing here? Trying to find something with like bigger, with like thinner walls. Something that's like cheaper. Not cheaper, but trying to find something that doesn't have a lot of them on the market. Let's go. You Are Spider-Man. This one, 850, whatever it is. You know, someone might say, oh, if you just buy the first 5 of these or whatever, then like all of a sudden the price goes up like, you know, 20% and now it's profitable. But the second you buy up those 5, there's gonna be 15 other people like ready to undercut. Because remember, there's like what, 2,000 of these, 2,500 of these. Like there's a lot of players in the game that aren't showing themselves on the market because they're just waiting for the price to go up. I think that's what happened with the Miles Morales Secret Rare comic. I had a friend who bought one and someone else bought one, and like the price like went up 50%, and they're like, oh my god, this is great, our price is up 50%. Then the next day there's like 4 or 5 people that listed their Secret Rare Miles, and like the price went right back to where it was. Like, I mean, the people that are on Veve, or the people playing the game, they're not on the market. Like, I don't think I have any collectibles. Like, there's collectibles I do want to sell, but like none of them are on the market because I'd rather have the price go up first, get pumped, and then I sell it. I have 12 Donald and Daisies now to average down the one I bought in February 2022. Oof, it's best to just not look at that. Give me a sec, guys, hold on. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. Alex has given incorrect info a few times. Yeah, and I think I don't think it was intentional. I don't think he was like trying to throw us off or try to troll us or anything like that. I think he was just possibly just saying either to his best understanding or literally what he's been told, and it just ended up just changing, right? It happens. You know, maybe they were working on Golden Moment Duos and he just didn't know about it. Unlikely, but could have happened. I mean, not trying to make excuses for the guy or Veve or anything like that, but there's a reason why Veve is being a bit more professional with the way they introduce collectibles or speculation or kind of fun stuff like that. Like really the only thing that's kind of fun to speculate with now is just the background AMAs of David Yu's background, right? People look at the background and they're just like Pikachu and like Boba Fett's like helmet or something weird like that, and then people start speculating on what's like in the future. But aside from that, yeah, the whole like teasing and red chili peppers and this and that, it's all gone. It's likely not going to come back. Good times, good times. Oh my god, I hope we were right about GM Donald. Still a huge Disney character. I bought it. I thought it would be the third most desired golden moment at the time. I think I remember placing it at like number 4 or 5. I didn't think it was going to be number 3. But I do remember placing it, you know, pretty high up there. I thought the order I did it was Walt, like R2-D2, then Elsa and like C-3PO, then Donald and Daisy, I think. But again, it entirely depends on like what kind of demographic of people we get on the app. Are they more Disney fans or Star Wars fans? How much money do they have? Like, who knows, right? You know, and even Sorcerer's Hat, like people that are legitimately obsessed with like Disney, or more specifically like Mickey Mouse, they know how rare it is for like have a Sorcerer's Hat as like a collectible thing, so they might go crazy for that. Who knows? But same thing with the Disney D logo. I don't know. I like Iron Man a lot just because he's also one of my favorite like Marvel characters, but he's also the only Marvel golden moment. I mean, aside from the logo, but like if you're a Marvel fan, there's no other golden moments that appeal to you other than Iron Man. I mean, there's tons of Disney, and there's, you know, 2 Star Wars ones, but there's only one character really for Marvel. Fellow Arizonan, I hope you're well, brother, enjoying this amazing weather. Yeah, it's actually nice. These last few days have been really nice. I definitely feel like we're going to be feeling the heat in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Like we're going to starting to feel it turn around, where it's like, oh, it's not as freezing at night or like early in the morning anymore. Now it's starting to like, oof, now it's starting to get hot. Now it's time to turn off the heated pools and just leave the pool, just leave it as is. Also need to stay in better shape. I've been working out, but I've also been like eating like shit on and off, so I need to be more consistent with that. But yeah, awesome. Thanks for stopping by your local scalper. Heat is coming for sure. Yes, not winter is coming in Arizona. Heat is coming. It's a bit different. There was a handful of comics, just as a heads up. I mean, I haven't bought any of these. I don't say I haven't bought any of these, but I do plan on putting in some more. I do plan on putting some more money into Veve at some point in the near future. I'm probably going to be stacking some X-Men stuff. I know I've said that on and off the last few days. Probably the ones I'm going to stack are Marvel, you know, X-Men stuff. I'll definitely get some ASM stuff as well, but it's mostly going to be, you know, those $2, $3, $4, $5 comics that I still think are very cheap and could move a lot. Those are going to be the ones I'm going to be investing in personally, because I do think the benefit of being able to like dollar cost average those as they're going up in price is beneficial, rather than buying 1 or 2 big collectibles that, hey, I need liquidity. What do I do? Now I have to sell this collectible for 1,000 gems. Like there's no in between. I would love to put myself in a position kind of like where my collectibles or like Sleeping Comics does. It's like they own like literally hundreds of comics and they're like, cool, I just need a few gems for this next drop, or I just want to liquidate some of these because I feel like it's a good price point. I can sell these 5 or 10 different comics and get 30 or 40 gems when I need it. Missed you at DCon, my friend. Next time for sure. Really? Maybe you were there for day 1 for a brief. I know there was actually quite a few people that were only there for like half the day on like the very first day of DCon, or they could only make it for the first day, so we miss each other. But yeah, that's unfortunate, dude. Well, I know there's the Veve like Arizona group, and it sounds like there's going to be some plans, so I'll probably try and make one of those events soon. All Chat Gaming says, I cannot wait for those Veve-verse to actually be able to use those, or say to be able to actually use these assets will be fun. My showroom function stopped working a while ago. Yeah, I haven't really messed with the showroom in a long time, to be quite honest. It would be kind of nice to have some collectibles. That might be another thing I'll look into, which is lightsabers, because I do think if I were to like invest in like Veveverse asset based, or just like, I would focus more on things that are equipable or wearable, because I feel like people are going to want to have a lightsaber on their hip or be able to use it. Or I'm trying to think of some other things that you might be able to like wear or use. You know, drivable vehicles, hoverboards. I do think those will go up as we get closer to the Veveverse, if they implement it right. They might say, cool, these vehicles are drivable, but it's only RC car, right? If you want to sit in it, it's gonna take more dev time. Could take another 9 months to a year. Oh, what's up, Daniel Marquez? What's up? 3 rocket ships. Your local scalper. I was there day 1. Then my lady got extremely sick, so I had only showed up day 2 for the shirts. Gotcha. Maybe you thought I was Dino and you probably just avoided me. I don't blame you. A lot of people thought I was Dino at DCon. I would say like 25% of the people that came up to me and said like, Dino, right? I'm like, sure. No, I didn't. I usually just told them I was VV vibes, but. So I'm trying to think of some other collectibles or things that you would like wear or be able to like equip on your person, right? Because I think it's one thing to be able to like put up a Todd statue or put up a poster or whatever it is to like really round out your VVverse showroom or your hangout area. But having stuff that you can actually wear or hold on to or interact with, I do think is more, I think that's going to be more valued, in my opinion. No, I saw Dino. His head shined from across the hall. I think both of ours did. I think I shave my head a little bit more often than Dino. I usually shave my head like probably every other day. Unless I have something to do the next morning that I like need to clean, then I can do it every day. It's just not ideal. Nothing, man. Sorry I'm late. Glad to see you streaming. I was here for your last one too, but I thought, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, most of you guys lurk, which I don't mind at all. Dude, I could talk all day. I could talk about whatever. I'll talk about some random shit and you guys will be like, oh, I like that too, or I disagree, and I'm gonna comment. Like, whatever you guys want to do, it doesn't matter to me. I just remember this at DCon. They actually had this like physical version of the Creeping Darrow, like this black one. Except it's let me see if I can view it in 3D. Oh my god. They had this at DCon. It was on one of the tables, but dude, this thing's ass cheeks were just facing the crowd like the whole time. Like if you were standing at a certain angle, like you just saw this the entire time. Except this thing actually, did it actually have butt cheek? No, I think it looked like this. But this is what you saw like 95% of the time at DCon at like one of the tables. Like you're like listening to the AMA and you just saw just straight up just cheeks in your face. And I'm like, can we move this Darrow thing? This look kind of creepy. I think this opens, yeah, this does open like a new tab, which is why it gets all like bright. For now, I enjoy stacking while I can. Lots and lots of collectibles are at a discount for sure. Or, you know, maybe this is the possible genuine value of the collectibles without artificially pumped gems, right? Maybe it's been a while and all the kind of fake gems or whatever it is, like the market's kind of settled and now we need actual money in the app rather than just like artificially printing tens of millions of gems. And it looks like everything is super expensive, but it's really not. It's not backed by anything. So regardless, worst case, you know, best case scenario, what is it? Best case scenario, you're buying them at a massive discount to what they were. Worst case scenario, you're buying them at like their actual market value and they should be going up because now we're getting more people. Like, could they go down a bit more? Maybe. probably, to be quite honest, but not much more. You're like, what's your favorite collectible and why Moonflower? Let me tell you about Moonflower. All right. First off, where is it? Usually it's down here. Recently viewed. Oh, it's on the app where it says like almost sold out or whatever. I mean, there's just something about the Moonflower that just speaks to me. The space cabbage, the iceberg lettuce, all of this. It just, I don't know. It just makes me tranquil when I look at it. Sorry. Just the way the islets work, the unsettling human mouth that's on there, the teardrop look of the nose, the fact that the moon is like shining, the fact that, is that a monkey face? No, is that like a flower on top of a flower? For a second, I really thought that was like a monkey face. You guys can see what I'm looking at, right? It almost looks like an ape on the back here. There's the sun, and like I thought for a second that was like a monkey face. That's why this is my favorite, which is also why I don't own it and it's still in the market, so, or still in the store. But yeah, that's why that iceberg lettuce is my favorite. You are tall. Dino is a little normalish height. Yeah, I'm 6'2". Dating profile says 6'3", so I think Dino's probably 5'6", 7", something like that. He's average height. Yes, sir. Are you gunning for any big ticket items in the near future? Probably not. I'd much rather accumulate smaller items that I can like DCA, and in my honest opinion, I think it's easier for certain collectibles, or especially comics, to go from $2 to $3 or, you know, $3 to $5, rather than certain collectibles to go from $2 grand to like $4 grand, right? And especially as things get more expensive, your appeal or your market gets much smaller and smaller and smaller. I mean, that's obvious. So there's less people that can afford a $4,000 collectible than it is to find, you know, let's say 1,000 people to buy you know, for a group of people to buy 1,000 $4 comics, something like that. It takes longer, don't get me wrong. It takes way longer to sell 4,000 comics than it does to sell one collectible, but also your market share, and you can also dollar cost average. I don't know, like everyone, that's why I say like there's no wrong answer. Like if you buy expensive stuff, or if you buy a bunch of cheap things and then you try to flip it for 50% profit, like there's no wrong answer. Everyone's playing a different game, and I think they're all right. Some are gonna be more profitable than others at different times, but like I'm never gonna shit on someone's strategy for stacking on Veve unless you're stacking moon cabbage. Well, other than that, you're probably in a good spot. I think people are pretty smart, and they know what they're stacking and the value of it is. So those look cool and creepy. Must be favorite pose of his, because they all are. Yeah, they're all in like a weird downward dog position. Veve bros, what's up, dude? Yo, Vibes, what's goody, chat? Tony, get the Omi here. What do you think the next Black History Month drop might be? I actually mentioned it earlier, but I remember talking about this shit last year, and I remember saying Black Panther last year, and we thought we were gonna get the comic or something like that. We ended up getting the collectible. I would love to see Blade. I would love to see Blade on the app from like the Marvel side of things. I could definitely see some sort of Black History Month like stamp or something along those lines, maybe from like USPS, something like that. Trying to think of like what else. I'm trying to think of like IPs we already have. I mean, we could get like a new IP as well. Killmonger, FA, the collectible. I mean, we have the comic, but we could get the FA as well. Trying to think of what else, because I remember last year there was probably 3 or 4 drops that I would say were particularly catered towards Black History Month last year. And I'm assuming again this year. So we got Black Panther comic. We'll probably get 2 or 3 more things, and that'll kind of be it. Because I do think they also have to respect the timeline of like other IPs and stuff like that that are also trying to release during February. whether they recognize Black History Month or not, you know, it is what it is. So, but yeah, I would say Blade, some stamps, and then Killmonger would be kind of cool, or I don't know. It'd be so cool to get Spawn. If we had Spawn, and I know there's already Spawn on the blockchain, like FA on another platform. I forgot what it is. And I know Todd McFarlane's never going to give us Spawn. That's just, it's his baby. He's never going to give it to us, but Spawn would be cool. Because in case you didn't know, Spawn is black. So those are kind of my guesses, but I mean, they could completely blindside us with some other characters, or maybe some other Black Panther characters. Who knows? Haven't seen any Disney items below store price IRL. Haven't seen any Disney items below store price IRL. Oh, you mean like if you bought a physical and like try to like resell it later? Probably. Doesn't surprise me. This man said, hold up. Let me tell you about Moonflower. The jazz cabbage. I think that's a nickname I heard a few weeks ago about weed. Like, you're trying to smoke this jazz cabbage? Miles Morales 2.0, Tony Githomi, or Black Panther? I hope we don't get another Miles like 2.0. I think Miles, like, we just need to let him chill as is. I wouldn't mind if they did like another something, but a Miles Marvel Mighty would be pretty sick, but I think it's good as is. Chances are prices are only going to go up rather than keep going down. Most importantly, only buy when you can afford. Exactly. Dan, I hope we get Blade this month. Yeah, that's what I figured. I know I'm a little bit behind on chat, so I'm trying to catch up. Hope we get Blade this month. Do I agree? Dude, I just hope that the Disney Plus show doesn't just blow ass, because Blade is meant to be violent, like very, very violent. And I really hope they don't Disneyfy it too much, where it's like they don't see the gore and all that stuff. I'm like, dude, this is not Blade. Blade is beheading vampires and skewering them, like, and all that kind of crazy stuff. He doesn't swing it like it does like a jump cut, and it just like shows his face like angry. I hope that's not what happens. I hope that's not what happens. Static Shock would be cool. Yeah. I remember watching that show as a kid, Static Shock. Oh, that was a pretty funny show. I don't remember like every episode, but I just remember him flying around. I think it was he had like a disc, but I do remember there's some episodes he used like the top of like a trash can, and he used like static electricity to kind of help him like levitate, and he would like fly around on like a metal trash can top. Yeah, Blade would be good. Isn't that always the case? Why everyone says they're inches taller? Tall, please don't be dirty minded. Yeah, well, it's mostly just, you know, you gotta, you know, you say you're 6'2", you tell the ladies, or at least the dating profile, that you're 6'3" or like 6'5.5", you know, they won't notice the difference. Stamps. I'm excited for Street Fighter. Are they giving us Street Fighter? Where do we hear that? Street Fighter would be sick. I'm trying to think of like my favorite Street Fighter character. I didn't play a lot of Street Fighter. Actually, I played a lot of Street Fighter, I believe 5 in college. I think I remember playing Akuma a lot. Yeah, I was that guy. I played Akuma a lot, and I was okay with like Dalsim, like the stretchy arm dude. But that's kind of it. Static Shock. Tomb of Dracula 10 equals Blade FA. Yeah, that would be sick. I'm down for the collectible or the collectible or the comic. I'm down for either one. Preferably the comic, but because the only issue is like I know they're gonna release the collectible, and that shit's gonna be like 60 gems, and there'll probably be like 10,000 mints of like 2 different collectibles, and only the ultra rare, you know, the ultra rare is going to be around like 80, and like the rare or whatever the other version is going to be like 25 gems or some shit, like less than half the price. Like, it's going to happen. Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson version, I could see that as well. Black Lightning, who's that? Black Lightning. It's a TV show, but it's gotta be a superhero, right? At least that's what I type in comic. Oh wow, this is from like the 1970s, 1977. Black Lightning. It's a different character. This seems pretty cool. Hope we get Mortal Kombat characters. Yeah, Mortal Kombat would be sick. I mean, I'm a big... Ooh, I love Sub-Zero and Scorpion. I like them both, but I think I'm a slight Scorpion fan over Sub-Zero. I need a Sub-Zero collectible. Yeah, there's going to be totally... I forgot the name of the ninja tribes that are involved. You know, there's like the Sub-Zero like ninja tribe, and there's like the Scorpion tribe. I forgot their names, but there would definitely be like a divide, I feel like, temporarily in the community, just for fun. You know, are you clan this tribe or this tribe, whatever. All right, why the hell are we still looking at Moon Cabbage? Let's go off here. Was he? I thought Spawn was a white guy that died in an explosion and went to hell and back. Literally, no pun intended. No, not that I... Pretty sure... Let's see. Spawn character. Yeah, dude, I remember watching Michael J. White play Spawn. Dude, he's badass. I remember watching, dude, he's a good fighter and all that stuff, dude. He was like probably the perfect character for Spawn. You know, and Spawn is one of those like, I think he's like a top 5, easily top 5 like best anti-hero characters like ever written. I'm trying to find where it says his like name. Yeah, I'm trying to find it here. Can't believe I had to type this, but I'm trying to figure out like what is like human farm. Let's see. Yeah, so this is Spawn. I mean, I feel like this is essentially him right here. This is back when he was, yeah, because I could have sworn he was like a Marine, or he was in like the Secret Service or something like that. Obviously did a lot of messed up stuff, which landed him in hell, but it's not like I've like read all the comics or anything like that, but I get the gist of his story. I do like him as a character though. Bro, Blade was R-rated movie and MA comics now will be PG. Dude, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm like Spawn. I'm like, dude, Blade has always been rated R, always been gory, and now they're gonna pull this shit where it's like PG. Bioshock, if you're 5'11", always say 6 foot. That's what I did. That's what I told my roommate. I think he's 5'11". I'm like, dude, you have to put 6 foot on your profile. I remember watching a I don't know if it's an article or like a YouTube video or whatever, but it was looking at dating profiles, and for some reason, like in Europe or other places that don't use our system of like inches, I think it was like more of like a bell curve of like matches and all that stuff. So like obviously people that are taller are getting a lot of matches, but people that are like super tall, it's just different. But in the US, it's like, let's see if I can face it. Like the amount of matches you got was like, alright, if you're like 5 foot, 5'6", like 5'10", 5'11", whatever. Then if you were 6 foot, it just like went straight up, and then it went like, you know, 6'1", 6'2", 6'3". So it was like there was just a huge takeoff. Like for whatever reason, that 6 foot is just like a magic number that they're all looking for. So I'm just saying, if you're 5'8", maybe put on some little platforms, get up to 6 foot. Then I'm 6 foot. Let's go, dude. Yeah, I'd say if you're 5'8", you could probably, you know, you can get an extra 4 inches somewhere. Lin Kuei and Shira Ryu. Yeah, I didn't play those characters. I don't remember who those were. Lin Kuei sounds familiar, but I feel like Shira Ryu is just the girl version of Ryu, right? No worries, you're probably right. Yeah. Veve vibes. It's been a long time. Hope you are doing well. Yeah, I think you're like the third person. It's like, long time. Hope you're doing well. You're not gonna die on me, are you? Like, not today. Yes, sir. See, Dana Marquez knows what's going on. Oh, those are the Mortal Kombat clans. Okay, I thought Ryu was actually like a female, because I know there's like a female Ryu character in Street Fighter. Lin Kuei. Okay, I knew Lin Kuei sounded familiar. Okay, I want Starship Troopers drop. That'd be kind of cool. Getting the bugs. Get the brain bug. You get Sergeant Rico. Get all like the normie troops running around. Like we do need like stormtroopers, or we just need something where you can have a lot of characters, or a lot of like the same guy, like army guys or stormtroopers, or like you said, starship troopers, just a lot of like marines, and then a shit ton of bugs. That'd be a lot of fun. That's because I was Sub-Zero. I'll fight you in Veve versus Scorpion. I'll fight Johnny Cage in the Nether Realm, or the Hell Realm, whatever that was in the movie. Have you jumped into DC Comics? Yeah. Let's see here. This is my account. Hopefully it doesn't log me out. Yeah, I got some DC Comics. My biggest ones are obviously Superman. I got 2 Common Detective Comics. Dude, one of these Detective Comics I got for like really cheap. Yeah, 28 bucks. That's when there was like a glitched listing. Like there was one listing like stuck at $29 and it would not leave. So some people thought like, oh, this must be the floor, and they would list it for 28. Because I think this is going for like 40 now, something like that. Let's look at it. Detective Comics. Yeah, Common's going for 48 right now. Got a couple Flash comics. I got an uncommon Brave and Bold. I kind of wanted the uncommon. Well, this is what I landed on the drop, but I kind of want the uncommon because it has that weird like scribbled writing on it. I kind of like the uncommons because it's just like such a beater comic. Like if you own that comic in real life, it's more than likely gonna look like this, or at least like, you know, the uncommon version where it's all like beat up and stuff. Common looks good too. Like it looks intact enough where you can like make out the fact that it's the original cover. But so yeah, no, I'm definitely in DC Comics. That's like Veve and DC are the ones I'm like really deep in, and of course I still have a Bat Cowl, or at least maybe you guys didn't see it. This is the Bat Cowl that I own. I got super lucky on the drop. Like this one looks sick. It has the headlamp, it has the whole thing. Black and purple. I dig it. I'm interning for an ad agency right now, and I think Veve needs to refine their Google ads. Digital collectibles seems like the only keyword they bid on to advertise. Yeah, that's what I figured. And plus, you know, I'm assuming to start, they're probably doing that because that ad word is probably really inexpensive and it's not searched a whole lot. Because certain search terms are just worth a lot. Like, God forbid you put up ads for like insurance or lawyer or something, like some of those ad terms are very, very expensive. Home renovation or contractor, doctor, dentist, like those are all ones that are like you're paying a pretty good amount like per click. Digital collectibles, maybe not entirely sure. So I think they're probably going for just like more, I don't know, who knows what the hell they're doing, but I agree. They probably could refine it, But I feel like people would just get confused or upset if they're looking for like, oh, I'm just looking for like Disney toys, and all of a sudden Veve's there and they're like, what the hell is this? Like, what's this NFT scam crap? Like, whatever. Right now, I think they're only appealing to people that actually understand digital collectibles, NFTs, that kind of stuff. I think they're just starting with that and just kind of seeing what happens. Like, I'd rather have them start too niche and then expand from there than like cast like a huge wide net, and now they're just wasting a ton of ad clicks, which who knows what their marketing budget is, but give me a sec. All right. Nice, that's super cool. I stacked over 100 DC comics. Holy moly, dude. Good for you. Dude, I will say, I do like the rarities that they put out, like how rare the comics are, because I think there's only what? I don't know. All I know is that I think there's like 4,000 Supermans, like in total of all the rarities. Like, these are all like really rare comics, or at least like mint number wise compared to Veve. So I still like my Superman a lot. This is one I'm probably gonna hold. I mean, you can say I bought it for a purchase price. It's one I'm gonna hold for a long time. I'm gonna switch over. But I do want to buy more Veve comics. I will say that. I do want to buy more Veve comics. I do want to buy Omi. And I'm kind of starting to focus where it's like, all right, if I do want to buy like very high end or like grail tier like NFTs, I think part of me almost thinks like, I feel like Omi is eventually like, Omi is gonna maybe help me get it for cheaper. And not only that, as of right now, like gems don't give me any utility, but Omi does. So if I have a bunch of Omi and I eventually stake it or stake a good portion of it, at least I'm getting some utility in return and rewards and prizes and all that stuff. And then if I want to buy something, I just buy something with the Omi, because it's almost like, would you rather have $3,000 worth of Omi or just 3,000 gems? Like, okay, gems I can buy stuff right now, but later in the future with Omi, I'm talking, this is when Omi utility is implemented. So that's kind of like my plan. Still refining it, but again, I do think if you're buying any combination of like significant comics, Omi, big ticket collectibles, or if you're stacking, you know, highly sought after or collectible items, like I think you're going to be fine. Now, are you going to make the perfect decision? Probably not, but I know I've reviewed data. However, low search terms can lose you money too. Yeah, who knows, right? Maybe Veve, or maybe they need a someone like you over there to analyze data, figure out how Google search terms work. Like I know basics, but that's about it. I'm not too in touch with it. I'll have to see what the term NFT costs. It's probably quite a bit now. It's probably way more than digital collectible. I feel like digital collectible is actually a relatively newer term. I never got to go for Palm DC. They locked my account during KYC. I'm still waiting for them to respond. Tickets from, damn, October 22nd. Yeah, dude, you got to kind of harp on their ass. I had a friend who, I think his account was locked, or there's some sort of like weird bank error when he was like trying to add his bank to like cash out, and like they were just no help. So I feel like you just have to like keep messaging them constantly, because dude, that sucks that you're locked out. DC is giving me Veve vibe. In the early days, app was also laggy. People underestimated it. DC comics are undervalued, like DC 38. I agree. I mean, I feel like it kind of goes hand in hand. If you're a Batman fan, you're kind of also a Robin fan, or at the very least, even if you don't like Robin, you know the significant value or historical, just the history of Robin. Like even if you hate Robin, you're just like, well, Robin's been around with Batman for a long time. I gotta buy the comic too, right? So I do think there's people that are going to be buying both. I'm mostly waiting for first appearance of Batman first appearance of Aquaman, you know, basically first appearance of pretty much all the Jesus, I was gonna say Avengers, Justice League, but more particularly just because Flash is my favorite DC character, so I'm more excited for Flash, but I know FA Batman's gonna go for the most. And there's still a lot of other comics too. Like DC's kind of weird in the sense of like they don't have as many like super significant FAs as like Marvel does, but they have a lot of like interesting books and like storyline arc like first appearance comics and stuff, and like a lot of their first appearances were actually like not comics named after them, right? Like there's Action Comics 1, which has Superman on it, that's technically his first appearance, but also Superman 1 is like his first named comic after him, so like both are very valuable. So DC has like a lot of those, it seems, comparatively to Marvel. Did you try asking on the Discord about your locked account? They helped me get my account back less than a day. Yeah, dude, try that, Daniel Marquez. Like if you're on the Discord, I always talk to what's his name? It's like B Games. He's always one of the moderators. The dude is super awesome about replying. I think like legitimately every time I've tagged him and asked him a question about something, he's responded. I mean, the dude does an amazing job replying. So I'd maybe do what Austin did. Just get in the Discord and ask. What's up, Kobe Collects? How was the stream? I saw you doing your packing in a box. I was kind of lurking in there because I was starting my stream, you know, shortly after, or shortly like after I was watching. So I saw you pulling some HRO packs that look fun. There was one that was called, what was her name? It was like white something. She was wearing like all white. It looked like a super cool card. I think it was like an epic or legendary maybe, but I forgot her name. Something light or like lightning, or I forgot what it was. But that card looked super cool. I saw you unpack it, or yeah, open it. I wish DC would have just let Veve drop their comics. Yeah, though I do think DC doesn't want to have to be, you know, basically have to, I was going to say share the market share, but that's actually the term, you know, they don't want to have to, have to share their market share with Marvel in the same space. Like I think it's smart of them to actually have their own dedicated, you know, quote unquote platform with Palm, that hey, like our place is the one-stop shop for all stuff DC. And you know, DC has kind of gone around a bit, you know, with a lot of different platforms and NFT projects. So I think it's actually kind of smart of them that they didn't want to go on Veve, because I do think their prices would have been affected, and maybe they wouldn't have been able to like negotiate a better price or comics or whatever. Would the comics be higher than they are now? For sure, but I think long term, I do think DC might make more money. I don't know. It's all interoperable anyway, right? Like I think eventually we're going to be able to put our DC comics in the Veveverse. Like the whole point of the Veveverse is like we could take those comics and put it in Veve. So I'm not too sure. I think DC would have made more money that way, but I do think they kind of want to have a place, especially since a lot of their stuff is centered around comics, that they can kind of like put their flag down and be like, this is our platform that that people should go to for our stuff. And if you like the, you know, statues that we sell, you know, black and white series stuff, go to Veve. But if you want our comics and the cowl stuff and all that, go to Palm. I can see a Palm app coming soon. I hope so. It'd be so nice to have, and I even told them about this too. I mean, I put it up as a bit of feedback for Palm. I'm like, you guys have got to make it easier to search for stuff on Palm, because when I click these filters and I'm trying to look for a comic, these aren't in alphabetical order. They're not in date order, meaning like what date they were released. It's not like the Flash whatever is at the top here. It's not at the bottom either. Because like the Flash is at the bottom, but then above it is like Deadly Joke, which was like, or Deadly Duo, which was like the second comic ever released on Palm. So it's like, it's not in order. It's just such a headache to look for it. I'm like, can you guys just like put categories or colors, or at least have pictures of like the comic next to it, or just something? Because searching through here is pretty annoying. I don't know, it's not like a ton of terms, but it could be better. And an app would definitely help with that, if they set it up with an app. Henry Overseas says, remember how Veve said we would be able to bring other NFTs to the Veveverse? I wonder if we'll be able to sell other NFTs on their market. If so, if you bring your DC comic over, it'll go for a lot. Yeah, that is true. I'm not sure, dude, because I do feel like there's quite a few people on Veve that might not just care for DC or Palm. Maybe there's that very, very small minority that have no idea that this is even a thing, like right here. Like you could just buy DC comics. And maybe once people find out, they're like, oh, I like the Veveverse, they're like, oh wait, there's another platform selling DC comics, cool, I'm gonna buy stuff. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to sell your DC comics on Veve, or at least like the Veve marketplace. I don't think so. And I feel like if you do bring it over to Veve, you won't be able to sell it on Palm, obviously, because it's now on a different platform. So now you can't market it at all. Like once you take it off platform, it's almost like you're staking it in a way. I don't know, or almost like putting it. Yeah, this is why like Web3, NFTs, interoperability, crypto, like all this shit is like, it's all very low res. We're not really sure how all this stuff is going to shake out. But as long as a lot of these projects are going to be revolving around Veve, or at least people want to put stuff on Veve, that's going to work in Veve's favor if they're going to be at the center of everything. And basically everyone else has to bend over backwards to make it work for them. Or Meta or whatever the hell, you know. There's a lot of moving parts. And wait, I still don't know what's going to be happening. It was a good one. Thanks for hanging out. Dr. Light, that's what it was. That was Dr. Light. That card looked really cool. It's a closed ecosystem with limited liquidity, yeah. And I think that's the main reason why these haven't pumped a ton, is because it's also a closed ecosystem, but also not a lot of liquidity, like either on this. If DC had a quarter of the liquidity as Veve, I think the price of all these would be at least double. But it doesn't, just because there's not a ton of users, there's not a ton of whales, there's at least not yet. So I think Palm said you can move your NFT in Q2 to a different wallet. Interesting. And that's the thing. I think because if you're able to take it to Veve, Veve is going to make these comics worth more because there's a lot of people on Veve. And OpenSea and other places too, but if Veve is going to be the Amazon of digital collectibles like we all think, then that's a good thing. Ecomi, afternoon vibes, just tuning in, brother. Let's go, dude. What's up? We're just talking about DC comics. Ecomi, do you have DC comics? Check out my tiny collection. Got a couple of Flash, Brave and the Bold, a couple Detective Comics, got a Superman. Let's go. What's up, fam? Got a SR mint on today's drop. Let's go. 266 on drop day. Sold it for 1,600. Then bought a mint 275 common. Rest will go to Omi and Lambo. Good day. Good day to you, sir. Dude, that's awesome. That's what's so awesome about Veve. Like, you could just one drop. That's all it takes. You make a lot of money. You get lucky. And that's a smart move, right? Like, he still wanted the common, but he wanted a 3-digit, low 3-digit, got it. Still had $1,500 to spare. You know, I guess after fees, you know, whatever. Still had $1,200, $1,300 to spare. That's awesome, dude. I would probably do something similar, to be quite honest. Either that or, yeah, just spend the remaining money just stacking like other comics and commons and stuff like that. And I think it's fine. People are like, oh my God, you sold secret rare. Like, who cares? You can do whatever you want. You know what you did? You just helped someone else that appreciates the secret rare buy it for a good price, or at least they felt like it was a good price, or else why would they have bought it? This is why we need flippers and collectors. It's a symbiotic, it's a synonymous, not synonymous, but it's a symbiotic relationship. You need flippers to give collectors what they feel like is a good price, because even collectors don't have unlimited money. They have stuff they like, and they want to feel like they're getting a good deal too. You know, if literally everyone was a holder, and if there was if all 250 people that got the secret rare, you know, including Uno Sean, and none of them wanted to sell, then no one would be able to afford it because like the floor price would be like 10,000 gems. Like no one would sell. It's like, okay, cool. That's not fun because unless you win it on drop, you can never afford it. So it's, you need both sides. And that's the nice thing is because there's, in a way, there's unlimited stuff for flippers. There's always going to be new FAs or significant characters or cool things that are going to be on VV constantly. So in a way, flippers have unlimited stuff they could flip. Collectors, as of right now, it's limited amount. I mean, that amount's getting bigger and bigger and bigger every week because we get more drops. But yeah, you need collectors to keep the prices high, but you also need flippers to keep the prices low so collectors can get in. I like hearing the Amazon of NFTs more than the Walmart of NFTs. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the Walmart of NFTs, that's, I don't know. When you think of like Walmart, I don't know. What do you think is like? You think of just dirty, like, well, I shouldn't be saying any of this, but just like dirty, like wife beater, like outfits and people walking in and just very like unsanitary and yeah, I'd like the Amazon of NFTs. I don't know. I totally forgot that was like the phrase. They're like, oh, we're gonna be like the Walmart of NFTs. It's like, ooh, please don't say that. And I really thought for the longest time that would be the. I thought that was gonna be like Vivi's big ticket was like, before they announced the Viviverse at DCon, I thought Vivi's ticket was, hey, whoever comes up with a metaverse or whatever the hell becomes the most popular. We have a platform or we have NFTs and a community that has already paid millions of dollars for all of our stuff. What we can do is we can put our stuff on your platform. We can get lots of people are already on your platform, but we'll split some money with you or whatever is negotiated. Like I thought like whoever came up with the like big metaverse was going to come up with a store and Vivi was going to come in with a product. And they were in, you know, metaverse or whoever was just going to take a cut. And like Vivi is just like, cool. Now we have a storefront and now people can come in and just buy it because now it's on a main road or whatever the metaverse is. I thought that was Vivi's big ticket. I didn't think they were actually going to make like a Viviverse themselves. But who knows? As much as we want decentralized everything, decentralized crypto, decentralized NFTs, decentralized this, eventually it just makes business sense to centralize stuff. Like look at Amazon, look at all these companies that started small or started acquiring other companies. Like eventually it just makes sense to centralize stuff because it's more profitable. You have access to more people and whoever's the big fish is going to gobble up all the small fish. Like it's only a matter of time. So I collect the uncommons on DC. They are dope. Yeah, right. Again, like we talked about, less mints. The beater comics, I think there's definitely a certain charm to having the like beat up uncommon comics, right? And that's how the comics look like in real life, more than likely. So vibes, I have about 20 DC comics, landed epics on the last 2 comics. Whoa. So you gotta, let me see here. What were the last 2 comics that were dropped on DC? I don't know about the one the week prior, but the most recent one, The Flash, I mean, that's really nice. I forgot which one dropped before that, but Walmart has huge market share though. Yeah, true, but talking the appearance, what comes to mind when you hear Walmart? You don't think of like, oh, what? I mean, I guess it depends on what context, but for your everyday person, which is what we're trying to appeal to, like you don't think of Walmart. I think people would rather go to Target than Walmart. That's just me. OpenSea's the Walmart of NFTs. Yeah, that's probably more correct. I like that. OpenSea's the Walmart of NFTs. Vivi's going to be the Amazon, where people are going to be coming to us, or we're going to be hopefully, I don't know. One thing that made me a little mad, Dan said a year ago, people in America don't have an advantage in drops, and they come out now saying people in America have a slight advantage. Yeah, we know. Yeah, I thought that was just like, dude, I felt like I figured that out within even just a couple months being on VV. Like people landing drops like consistently. I know East Coast people, I felt like had a huge advantage. I remember legitimately watching videos of some content creators that lived on like closer to the East Coast, watching them play the drop, and you know, I'd play the drop and then I would watch them play the drop afterward, and they were like way slower than me and they still got it, or they would like mistime it, and I'm like, how are they still winning the drop? Like, how is this happening? Also, I do think it's my phone, but I shit you not, like sometimes when I win a drop on my phone, it's probably just because my phone isn't super fast, but sometimes it takes like a full like 30 seconds when I click accept and I win the drop and I click yes, I want to buy, or you know, whatever, purchase. It loads for like 30 seconds. It's like loading, and it's like, I'm assuming it's just queuing me up, because I assume, even though they say the, you know, when they release the NFTs, it's random, like, you know, but I do feel like a big part of it is like how soon can you click the buy button, how fast your phone processes the purchase button and all that stuff. Because like, I don't know, like I would say for the last like 6-7 months, anytime I buy something, like either on Rebound, well, Rebound's a bit different, but even if I bought something on the drop, it takes like 15 to 20 minutes for my thing to deliver, like every single time. I cannot remember the last time I had something deliver in less than 10 minutes. Like everything seemed to take so long for it to deliver. I don't know if that has anything to do with like internet or how close you are to the servers or whatever, but it does seem like it takes a very long time for my phone to like certify the trade. And I do think it's a device, because I do remember watching Veve Vault do, what's it called? Is it not Spacegate? Where you like buy, close, like you don't even wait for it to say like done buying. As long as it's subtracted the gems, you just close out. Because I used an iPad and you could do that pretty quick, so maybe it is my phone. Mint number 1982 SRBP last year. The Black Panther origination existed. Oh, that's sick. Yeah, 1982 SR Black Panther. I like it. I would say way back in the day, I felt like they would rotate servers because of it. It wouldn't surprise me, but I feel like that would also just cost extra time and like money and resources, maybe. But it did seem like a lot of the East Coast people in the US had an advantage. Especially if you're like by like Amazon servers or by the because I know some people did that. They would like park at like an Amazon warehouse where they had just like crazy fast internet, and they would just like mooch off that Wi-Fi and then just use that. East Coast advantage for sure. I landed a blue tot on mobile data. Yeah, that's what I figured. And I know people too that visited the East Coast, you know, from wherever, and they said it was easier to land drops. So I mean, you just can't help it. You know, there's no certifiable way to say exactly if there's an advantage or not. At least probably they didn't know of a way the last couple of years. Up until recently, they're like, yeah, we found out US has a slight advantage. It's like, where's the server hosted? Then clearly that's an advantage. Wherever that server is hosted, whoever lives close to there has that advantage. It's that simple. Also, have you guys been doing Spamgate on comics? Because I remember for a long time, spam clicking the comic button or the buy button for comics did not work, because it would just stay gray and it wouldn't work. But I've heard some people recently said that like they use Spamgate on comics and now it works. So I might have to try it on the next comic just to see if it works. You know, if it's a trash tier comic, I won't buy it, but I'll just spam click and just see if it works. I think it's random delivery. I get nearly every drop I go for. Sometimes it takes a minute to deliver. Other times I'm one of the last deliveries. Yeah, if you get a rebound, you're going to be a last delivery. That's just a fact. That's just how it works. But I do feel like, I mean, sometimes my phone takes like a full like 30 seconds to like 45 seconds to like, once I click buy, I'm like waiting. But when I watch Veve Vault stream, he's like buy, purchase, and then it loads. It takes 5 seconds. It's like, you got this mint number. I don't know. I think it's just my phone. All right, probably gonna get off here in 8-ish minutes. I mean, we've been streaming for 2.5 hours at this point. Pretty sure the main Veve server host is East Coast, so they have better routing and better chance to win drops. Makes sense. Because I know Johnny Dunn, I'm trying to think of all the content creators that lives on like the East Coast, because I know Johnny Dunn's East Coast and a few other people. I mean, Johnny Dunn just has like impeccable timing, but I do think, you know, there's a server advantage there a little bit. It's almost like, you guys ever remember playing like old like Xbox 2 games, like playing like Gears of War or Halo 2 or whatever, whenever your friends or someone would like host a server and like they just had an advantage because they just had faster ping. I remember playing Gears of War 1 with my brother, and we would always host the server because we knew we had an advantage. So people would join our server, we would play games, and like our aiming, our guns, and like all that stuff was always like a little bit faster than everyone else's, and it makes a huge difference in a game like that. So that's I don't know why, but that just kind of like came to mind, where it's like, oh, you just have like server advantage. We used to call it host advantage, or like whatever you die, we'd call it host shotgun. So it's like, dude, how'd that guy kill me? Like, oh, he's got host shotgun, he's hosting the server. So it's like, I don't know. It's all those like total copium bullshit excuses that you came up with as a kid, or even at my age, where it's just like, oh, that's BS. But yeah. Not looking forward to queue lists for big drops. I agree. Unless they implement a lot of MCP stuff. Pixel Trader, I imagine you have a ton of MCP. I imagine you're probably a top 10% at least MCP collector. But if there was a way to do MCP points and you can get a drop or whatever, yeah. People are grumpier in the Northeast. Veve threw us a bone. Yeah, we knew you guys would be loud. Going for the drop and you miss it. You're like, what's going on here? Hey, I'm dropping here. I'm trying to land this drop. Let's get some coffee. Trying to eat my pie. Veve doing a drop. It's my terrible New York accent. When is Q arriving? We have no idea, Austin. We have no idea when Q is getting here. Let me just, I mean, we're not really looking at much. We'll just chill here. We have no idea when like actual queue system is getting here. Could be, at least as far as I know, I'm not holding my breath. I'm really not looking forward to queue system. I don't mind queue system for the Veve logo, the blue and white one, whatever. Queue system for certain drops just to test it, I don't mind, as long as it's not grails or big things. I really hope they just keep queue system as a thing, because really us calling out for queue system last year was more of just a knee-jerk reaction to us just like being tired of bots, and that was the only solution we could come up with in our mind, or at least as a community at the time, for bots, which is like, just do queue system because it's BS. Bots are winning 65% of the drops, meaning there's only 35% left for like actual humans. That's not the actual numbers, it's probably flipped. It's probably like 70% humans and 30% bots, but that's still a lot of people not winning drops. That was just a knee-jerk reaction from the community of, hey, I'm not winning drops, it's bots, which they were involved. Let's just do a queue system. And then eventually Veve was like, hey, what if we just like not let people trade gems? And then after that, it was, let's just let people not trade NFTs. And so at that point, the bots only had a limited supply of gems, unless they got it from their main account or whatever. So then they had to put in actual money, which is something that bot users don't want to do. So I think like we don't really need queue system. I don't mind it for certain drops. I really hope like less than 10% of the drops use queue system from now on. Up until we get to the point where it's like, all right, we have 500,000 KYC'd users and we have drops that are still in like the 10,000K area. Okay, now let's use queue system. Yeah, that's where it's going to be tough. Wait, are they completely removing time drops? As far as I know, no. They're just going to be testing the queue system, but I'm not sure how far they plan on using it or what they're using it for or anything. I've seen his streams where my timing is better than his and he still gets it and I don't. Who are we talking about? Yeah. I mean, just content creators in general. I remember some people, I never seen it, but I think it was a friend of mine told me that he watched like Cavell Anderson trying to land the secret rare Spider-Man like a long time. I mean, this is a year and a half ago, right? Timing on his phone, and he was like way off with the timing, totally not good comparatively now to what we know. But still landed like the SR Spider-Man, right? But oh yeah, I remember host Shotgun and Gears of War. Yeah, see, I knew Bioshock is a gamer. He knows. So he knows. I hope the Lambo drop is a big deal. Boost morale and some high prices. Yeah, I hope they don't go in the middle. They either need to do, look, there's 500 of these and that's it for Lambos. Because technically Lambo already exists in the blockchain. They already did Lambo NFTs, I think, on their website, and it just kind of flopped. Like, people weren't too happy about it. Either they do very limited, or they just do, I don't want 50,000 like DeLoreans, but if they did something maybe closer to like 2,000 or 3,000, where that's like, all right, that's kind of a lot. And there's like different colors and that kind of stuff. Okay, that's fine. I hope they don't do something like weird in between. Yeah, Virginia near DC is the AWS location. What does that stand for? So New York, New Jersey, all do well, yeah. It's AWS. Amazon Web Services. Okay, gotcha. I had to double check. Q System is gold. I have friends that are coming back just because of Q System. Did you tell them that there's KYC and there's like there's still bots, don't get me wrong, but it's literally 1/100th of as bad as it used to be. Now anytime I see a drop, I might see like 20 or 30 bots like overall, and I'm like looking at the market for an hour, right? Usually after a drop, like 30 minutes, maybe like an hour at most. It just depends on what I got going on that day. But yeah, before KYC, yeah, it was just tons of bots. Every other user was a bot, or every other like listing was a bot. So I mean, they could have come back. Well, I mean, I've been landing drops for a while. I actually missed the Black Panther on the drop. I had to get it on the rebound, personally. You are correct, Slava. Yeah. So yeah, so it is. Yeah, it's in near DC. I feel like there's a lot of servers out. Like I know there's a lot of servers just for gaming or just in general. I know there's like usually Chicago because it's like relatively centered in the U.S. continental wise. Chicago, or sorry, I just said Chicago. Chicago, DC. Sometimes like Houston, like Seattle. Sometimes I don't think any like there's some in LA and San Francisco or those places, but it's probably just expensive in general just to have the infrastructure there. But I hope by end of Q1 they have some major features launched like MCP or Comics and Showroom. Yeah, I'm not holding my breath too much on those features. Like I said before, a lot of my purchasing decisions aren't completely revolved around it, and it might bite me in the ass, who knows. But then again, it's like it's not like I'm throwing in $1,000 into VV every other week and really leveraging all that. I would say if I was spending more money, I would probably care more, but as of right now, not so much. And if I do, it'd probably be an OMI, like in excess amounts, because no matter what the market does, there's always OMI being burned. As long as OMI has a utility that you can buy NFTs with it, that's enough utility for, I think, most people. Because if you can time it right, because like OMI fluctuates and so do the prices of NFTs fluctuate. Like if you can time it right, where like, you know, it's like, oh, OMI's up and now this collectible is down. Like this is the perfect time to buy it. But when OMI's down and then like a collectible's up, that's like the worst time to buy it. So some people that are really good at like looking at charts or being able to time that stuff, it can be very profitable. Or even just, you know, you can legitimately buy, here, let's look at this. You know, you can legitimately buy Superman for $450 worth of OMI, but if you wait a few weeks or even a month or whatever, now all of a sudden you can sell it for the same price. Like the price of Superman could maybe not even move at all. Like it'll just stay at $450, but now you sell it again for OMI for $450 worth of OMI, but now you own more OMI because the price of OMI like went down or something like that. So it's kind of one way of like getting more money is like, all right, I had 1 million OMI and I bought, you know, I don't know how much is $450 worth of OMI. Let's just say 500,000 OMI to buy this. and then you wait, and then Omi goes down, and now you can sell this for $600,000. 600,000 Omi. Now you just made 100,000 Omi because you just bought something, you waited a few weeks, and then you just flipped it, right? But you have to also have a buyer there willing to buy Superman for that much. So we'll see. I think people that can play the market right, because now you're playing with two different like knobs at the same time in order to get profit. Cool. Unless there's anything else, I think I'm gonna end the stream here in like 2 or 3 minutes. So if you guys want to do any shout outs, you guys want me to look anything up, troll me, any of that stuff, let me know. Maybe list a comic for me at $1, just a SR AF15 for a gem. That'd be nice. You guys want, if you guys don't mind. Ooh. Wait, when did I buy this? Oh no, this is the common. Okay. I still want to buy the ultra rare of Not Brand Ech. I still like the ultra rare cover a lot. Look at that, already up. I bought this for $688. It's already up to $775. Cool, guys. Appreciate you all for hanging out. I'm gonna end the stream. I kind of like this. I know I usually actually like start my streams around this time, or maybe like an hour from now, and I usually do like a more late night thing. But I started a little bit earlier in the day because it's Sunday. Plus I'm starting to get a little stuffy, so I want to end the stream here. Thank you so much, Pixel Trader, Slava, All Chat Gaming, everyone else, Bioshock, aka Subby Zero, Fro Ecomi. And thank you so much too. I'm gonna scroll all the way up to the top. It was Choo Choo, who's been not subbed, but he's been a Common Gang member for 11 months. And then Yada Dog, who's been a member for 10 months, which is nuts. I'm like, God, I gotta do something for like a 1-year membership or something. So I gotta do something for them. Yeah, anything other than merge would be cool. Yeah, merge is, I'm not a huge rush. Like I'm not a huge rush to like merge stuff. I'm trying to think of some workarounds potentially around it, but I'll have to talk to some people about it. Make sure it's cool. Good stream. See ya guys. Bioshock, thank you so much. Hope you guys take care. Please double or triple check all of your listings so you don't screw yourself over. And I'll catch you guys next time.